somewhere last month, and I'm going to throw a little light on another one. And I pray that the authority concerned should listen to me. And it's a statement. Dialogue now, so that you should not be knocking the door for dialogue and there's no dialogue. That's what God told me. I keep saying it. I said there is a spirit in this young man. It is bigger than what physical eye can see. I'm not an Igbo man, I'm a Yoruba man, but I'm speaking as a prophet. I said what I see in this young man is bigger than him. You see, the man, the small boy that they call him, what is inside him is bigger. It's not just an ideology, it's bigger. I said, I see an animal. Which animal did I told you last time? I said what? A what? A what? A small puppy. And I say, I see a small puppy going forward. All of a sudden, I saw so many strange wild animals, lion, bear, great animals around the puppy. Then I saw the puppy look back and saw that the animals around him are so many. Suddenly the puppy, what I saw last month is different from what I'm seeing now. The puppy is developing some futures of wild animals. This prophetic word is not to the negative. It's very important. Take the Biafra agitation serious. Dialogue now. Because I see a time, doors are knocked, calls are made. People who are heady are saying we have come down, but these people are not willing to dialogue again. Please, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. Dialogue now. Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an Igbo man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. What? I'm seeing great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying, it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. Please. Every authority. There come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of gun, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullet, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because it's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody is throwing stone at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out and there is peace in the land.
Fellow Nigerian, in search of excellence for Africa, my mission remains to create awareness, advance practical solutions, and transform mindsets via case studies. Together, let's midwife deliverance for our race, country, and continent. Please share this video. I am Dr. Israel Noyerem Davidson. Thank you. In 2001, US-led forces overthrew a Taliban-led Afghan government following the 9/11 attacks led by the Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. For the next 20 years, the U.S. and allies enforced democratic ideals, built up Afghan security forces, and provided operational air cover. The Taliban continued to attacks. Now, eventually, under President Trump, the U.S. promised to pull out if Taliban agreed to stop attacks and hosting terrorist groups. Today, the Taliban militants have declared Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and overrun most of the country at lightning speed with little or no resistance from the 300,000 U.S. trained and heavily equipped Afghan forces. U.S. general could not believe an army could crumble at that rate.
I did not, nor did anyone else, see a collapse of an army that size in 11 days. There'll be many postmortems on this topic, but right now is not that time.
It is believed the Afghan soldiers, though diehards, had unquenchable allegiance to jihadist ideologies practiced by Taliban. There were Afghan soldiers by day, Taliban at heart, and Taliban at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too. So Afghanistan was simply handed over to the mullahs to govern based on their shared jihadist ideological leaning. The south and middle belt of Nigeria should wake up with urgency. The Afghan situation is cooking fast in Nigeria today. Afghanistan is number 1 on global terrorist list. Nigeria is number 3, second to
Please be seated. Verses 1 and 2.
Ẹsẹ̀ Bíbélì kejì ní ìwé Ẹ́kísódù orí karùn-ún.
I read, "Let my people go so that they may hold a festival for me in the desert. Who is the Lord that I should obey him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go." Aaron and Moses
Áárónì àti Mósè
went to deliver God's message to Pharaoh.
wọ́n lọ jíṣẹ́ Olúwa fún ọba Fáráò.
And Pharaoh disdainfully
Fáráò sì kọ̀ jálẹ̀.
and he rejected the word of God.
Kò sì gba èyí tí Ọlọ́run tí wọ́n mú wá fún un.
But not only did he reject,
Kì í ṣe pé kò gbà á lásán.
he said he did not know God and he didn't want to know God, and of course he will not let Israel
Ó
go.
ní pé ní òun ò mọ Ọlọ́run o, òun ò sì fẹ́ mọ̀, òun ò sì ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n lọ.
Come to the title of my exhortation.
Wọ́n wá sí orí ìwàásù ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbìyànjú bàbá wa.
What then is testimony?
Kí ni ohun tí à ń pè ní ẹ̀rí?
Testimony is evidence given by a witness.
Òun ni ohun tí a fi fúnni pẹ̀lú ẹni tó lè jẹ́rìí sí nǹkan.
Testimony must put God first.
Ẹ̀rí gbọ́dọ̀ fi Ọlọ́run ṣe àkọ́kọ́.
As we have seen in Joseph.
Bí a ti rí nínú Jósẹ́fù.
Joseph did, and he made God the actual interpreter of dreams.
Tó fi Ọlọ́run ṣe olùtúmọ̀ àwọn àlá rẹ̀ gbogbo.
We must, in our testimony,
A gbọ́dọ̀ nínú ẹ̀rí wa gbogbo.
make God look good.
Ká jẹ́ kí Ọlọ́run kó dára.
There will be people
Àwọn èèyàn yóò wà
like Pharaoh
bíi Fáráò.
in in our second passage.
Nínú ẹsẹ̀ Bíbélì kejì tí a kà.
And you remember he said, I do not know the Lord.
Tí a rántí pé sọ pé òun Ọlọ́run.
Let Israel go.
O sì jẹ́ kí àwọn Ísírẹ́lì kó lọ.
You did not know the Lord.
Wọn kò ló wà.
And you didn't want to know the Lord.
Kò sì fẹ́ mọ Olúwa òun.
He rejected even the words of the Lord. The message of the Lord.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run àti iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ gbogbo.
And his end.
Òpin rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ọ̀rẹ́yìn.
Was destruction.
Ó ní ìparun.
Self-destruction.
Ìparun lójijì.
Ọlọ́run fi ìtàn hàn. God showed him in miracles and finally in self-destruction the power and the mightiness of God.
Ọlọ́run fi ìyanu hàn àti títóbi bó ti tó kó tó di pé ó parun.
We have modern pharaohs.
A ní àwọn Fáráò ìgbàlódé òní.
Who do not know God.
Tí wọn kò mọ Ọlọ́run.
And don't want to know God.
Wọn ò sì fẹ́ mọ̀.
They will mock you.
Wọ́n gàn yín.
They will ridicule you.
Wọ́n fẹ́ tẹ̀ yín mọ́lẹ̀.
They will reject your words.
Wọ́n á kọ ìyìn rere tẹ́ fún wọn lọ.
No matter what testimony you give.
Kò sí bí ẹ̀rí ṣe wù kó tóbi tó.
That should never worry you.
Ìyẹn ò gbúdọ̀ bìkítà sí òun.
You must stand firm and still proclaim your faith.
Ẹ pọ̀ dúró ṣinṣin láti máa polongo ìgbàgbọ́ yìí.
And your belief and what you know to be right.
Àti ìgbàgbọ́ yín lórí ohun tí ẹ mọ̀ kí ó dára àti tó jẹ́ òtítọ́.
The faith of Pharaoh must teach anyone a lesson of the mightiness and miracle and immensity of God.
Ìgbàgbọ́ ti Fáráò yẹ kó kọ́ ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́gbọ́n bí Olúwa ti tóbi àti bí ó ti lágbára tó.
Success begets envy.
Àṣeyọrí máa ń mú owú wá.
Jealousy.
Owú búburú.
Pull him down.
Láti fàlùlẹ̀ àwọn ènìyàn.
PhD, I call it. PhD. Backbite.
Ìṣòro ẹni lẹ́yìn.
Reputation destroyers.
Àwọn ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà.
Reputation destroyers.
Àwọn tí máa ń ba nǹkan jẹ́.
Tí wọ́n ń bani lórúkọ jẹ́. In all things be above board.
Nínú gbogbo.
Be above board.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo kó máa wà lórí.
Nínú gbogbo nǹkan.
In all things.
Ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ́. Ọwọ́ rẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ́.
Your hand must be pure.
Ọkàn rẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ́.
Your heart must be pure.
Ayé rẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ́.
Your life as well.
You must be completely be above all.
Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ pípé ní gíga ohun gbogbo.
So what the bad belly people will do.
Gbogbo àwọn tínú kan ń bí tán fi halẹ̀.
And what they will say, what they will do and say will not matter.
Kò jámọ̀ kankan.
Once your life remains absolutely clean.
Bí ayé yín bá wà nínú.
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, offering them the sum of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The headsman crisis has risen since 2015 after Muhammadu Buhari became president. Their rampage has spread not only in the north but also throughout the southern zones of the country. The killings by the headsmen has led them to be tagged the fourth most dangerous and deadly terrorist group in the world by the World Terror Index. The acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, who was also at the meeting in Kebbi State, added that over 1,000 people have been killed and many more kidnapped in Kaduna. However, he said that this intervention was necessary to bring the criminals to book. The Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu said hosting the meeting in his state shows the seriousness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in tackling the security challenges in the country. Responding, the president of the association, Alhaji Muhammad Kirua, said the meeting would serve as a foundation for peace between the Fulani headsmen and farmers and among Fulanis themselves. Roots TV, Nigeria.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
Assalamu alaikum. What is Nnamdi Kanu still doing in the DSF's custody? An order has been given from the court to the government that Nnamdi Kanu should be returned back to Kenya, and he should be compensated with a sum of 500 million naira, but he is still in their custody. Why? Why? Has Nigeria gotten to a level that we don't have laws any longer? We don't abide by the rules and regulations given to us? If we are to break these rules, oh, what a pity to us. But now, it's for the government to do what is right, but they are not. Instead, discrimination, tribalism, ethnicity has become the order of the day for them. And I don't know what they are putting in the minds of the Southeast and the Northerners. Because we, the Northerners, are the ones being affected. Why? Because the people ruling us are from the North. I blame them. See, there is no way I will blame the Southeast if they think of having their own nation, with the way things are going, with the way our governments are taking things in on serious. Let me say it that way. If you are making us look, I never for once loved the Southeast. The only thing I had for them then was hatred, but I came to realize that this is not how it's supposed to be. Then let the government do what is right. If an order has been given, an order is an order. Let's abide, let's go by that order. Not bringing in discrimination, bringing our tribalism into our mind. Oh, come on. That is not what we are out for. And that is why we will keep fighting till what we are looking for is achieved. Please, this man should be returned back to Kenya, because he was kidnapped to this place. If I was being kidnapped, I would not be happy about it too. Let me be realistic and let me be sincere about it. Please, my viewers, share this video. Let it go viral so that all citizens, all masses of this country will see it, because Nigeria is no longer a lawful state or a lawful country any longer. We have rules and regulations. Let's go by that. Let's abide by it. An order is an order, like I said. And we, the Northerners, we want to be our brother's keeper. We don't want the Southeast to see us as if we are the enemies. We don't want to be their enemy, and we don't want them to be our enemy also. So let the government do what is appropriate. please and please share this video so it go viral.
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world, if we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it, farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we've put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden administration.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, fellow Biafrans all over the world. You are listening and watching live and direct on Voice of Biafra 97.5 FM in Biafra land. Live and direct on Enter Biafra and on all autopiloted IPOB media platform. This evening, we are hooked to almost over 15 channels. This evening, we are hooked to over 15 channels. We are hooked on Biafra Voice 247 TV. We are also live on Ugo Chris TV. We are live on Biafra Voice TV. We are live on Biafra Sunny TV. We are live on Sunny Demia. We are live on Voice of Biafra 97.5 FM Radio TV. We are live on Sunny Media. We are live on No Going Back Resilience Channel. We are live on Tube Survival. We are live on Biafra Freedom Voice TV. We are live on Gaddafi Biafra TV. We are live on Biafra Freedom Voice TV. We are live on Biafra Freedom Voice TV 2. We are live on Biafra Freedom Voice TV 3. We are live on Enter Biafra YouTube channel.
We are live on Twitter. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Facebook. And as I am talking to you now, the Facebook channel will be switched off because Facebook has never been fair to us. So if you are watching from Enter Biafra on Facebook, you are going to be disconnected in this minute. Thank you all for being part of this particular program today. I think we are live on other platforms as well. Some people are writing YouTube Biafra, Critic News, and Chiamaka TV, and many more channels today are streaming this live and direct. At this point, in 31 minutes into this program, we have almost 11,000 viewers. We have just 30 minutes into the program, 2,200 or 2,300 on YouTube alone, on Enter Biafra, and many other channels altogether from Enter Biafra channel 1 and 2, and Enter Biafra live streaming app, and Enter Biafra iOS and Android. I believe that this evening we will be addressing at least live 30,000 Biafrans. Today, the topic of the day, as you all can see, the Nigeria, a global threat. Nigeria, a global threat, and why it must dissolve this year, 2023, for lasting peace. The reason we are doing what we are doing is it is time for us to fight for our survival, the survival of the indigenous people of Biafra and many indigenous people, indigenous nationalities in Nigeria. For those of you who may have seen the topic of today, Nigeria is not just a threat to the indigenous people in Nigeria, but beyond. And what we have come to prove to you today is how Nigeria has become a global threat. We are going to do everything possible to make sure that Nigeria break up this year. I do not know about other ethnic nationalities, but at least I am speaking for Biafra people. And for that reason, we are going to do everything to make sure that we break away from Nigeria, either in peace or by war. When I say by war, some people are, they are going to be saying, why are you talking about war? Why are you talking about war? But I wanted to tell you something today. When Ojukwu led the defense of Biafra after 1967 war that lasted 3 years and ended in 1970, Ojukwu also said that Biafra can never get freedom without war. This same particular position and understanding also has the German mercenary. The German mercenary in the name of Rolf Steiner. The Rolf Steiner, who was fighting for the far side of Biafra, made a very powerful historic statement when he said he did not see this country getting their freedom without war. And he went further to say that even though Biafra war may end, that Nigeria will go into war again. I want you people to understand that today we are already at war. We are already at war, but some of you are not seeing it. Some of you are not seeing that we are already at war. And most of the painful part of this war is that it is called a silent war, where some foolish and stupid and evil part of Biafra people in Nigeria army are also being used. And that is why we treat you as enemy. I want you all to understand that this year, 2023, they have already declared war on Biafra. So the only thing we are going to do is that we will also make it open. The war will no longer be secret. The war that they have declared on Biafra will no longer be secret. We are going to make the war open, and we are going to drag all these politicians that are actually facilitated this war into this particular war. They are not going to know peace. We will drag them into the killings in Biafra land, from the head to the tail, from the governors to the senators to all the House of Representatives, to the list of anybody representing anybody in Nigeria state from Biafra land. What we are going to do is not to declare war. The war has already been declared. But what we are trying to do is to make the war public. The secret war that has been going on in Biafra land, we are going to make it public. And when this public war, we are going to make it very public, everybody is going to get part of their own share. We can no longer allow you to fight and declare war and be killing our people in the secret. We are going to make it open. And we are also going to make our defense open. The way we are defending our land and our lives, the lives of our people, we are going to be making it open from now. From now on, you are going to be watching how we defend Biafra land and how we defend ourselves against terrorist state. A terrorist state in the name of this government of Nigeria that sponsor terrorism through the military and police and their secret service. So, even though they hide under the government power to kill our people, our defense will also be we are going to be making them public. It is no longer something that you are going to be seeing in the secret. So it is open. For those who don't understand that we are at war, this war has been going on for as long as I know, since 2021. The war has been going on secretly. We fought the war all through 2021 to 2022. It has been going on secretly, and there have been secret assassination of Biafra people. There have been secret extermination of Biafra people. There have been killing and massacre, genocide against us. The war go through 2022, and now we are in 2023. And let me tell you, they are receiving it from us. We are dealing with them. We are dealing with them in Imo State. We are dealing with them in Anambra State. We are dealing with them in any place they have found joy in killing our people. And we will continue to deal with them. They will not tell you that story. They are not telling you the story, right? All they do is to go and burn innocent houses, innocent people's house and homes and villages and market. If they want to burn people, they should go and confront the revolutionary army of Biafra. We are ready to face them. They shouldn't be burning villages. The villages have not done anything to them. If they want to face us, they know where our armies are. They should go there and engage them. If they want to start fighting, they should go where our armies are and engage them. Burning the villages cannot stop what we are doing. Burning the villages and burning the market, and we call it economic jihad, cannot stop what we are doing, and they cannot stop Biafra from going out of Nigeria and exiting this year. So, but I did not come here to do something else. What I have come here this evening is to educate you on the threat that Nigeria poses to the global, globally, that Nigeria is a global threat. And the earlier you disintegrate this year, the better for the West, the better for America, the better for Asia, the better for any country that has developed. So I'm going to bring analysis on this particular position. And before I do that, I would like to bring the video of the son of Philip Effiong, who made a very historic quote after the war, that if Nigeria do not treat Biafra people very good and respect them, their children will rise up against them. And here we are. I am one of those children of Biafra that have rise up against Nigeria today. And I am not here to fight this freedom for long. This year will be the year we will do everything to drag Nigeria down. So I want all of you to listen as this man, who is the son of Philip Effiong, analyze the situation of Biafra.
This is in-depth analysis.
And it was bound to happen that people would rise up. My father said it. He said, if you don't treat these Biafrans well, their children will rise up. So
he said, his father said it, that if you don't treat these Biafra children very well, their children will rise up. And we have risen up now. Let me play it again.
This is in-depth analysis.
And it was bound to happen that people would rise up. My father said it. He said, if you don't treat these Biafrans well, their children will rise up. So anybody that is acting as if they are surprised.
Are you hearing it? I am bringing this up for those who will be writing to the ICC, for those who will be writing to the United Nations. We are writing too. You are not the only one writing them. You are writing the United Nations. We are writing United Nations too. You are writing to the ICC about Simon Ekpa. We are writing to the ICC too. So any place you write, we will write too. So you are not the only one who know how to write. So I want you all to listen to the history that God is using us to fulfill today. And those people that are writing those nonsense, just make sure that you don't enter Biafra the first 5 years of Biafra declaration. Make sure you stay in exile until our anger against you will come down. After 5 years, it may even be more. Don't just dream of coming to Biafra, because the fight we are fighting today has taken the life of many. So if all you do is to sit in one small place in Germany or other places to be writing rubbish, countering Biafra freedom, make sure, because we have all your informations, we have your name, we have your everything, and just make sure you don't enter Biafra the first 5 years to 10 years of Biafra declaration. Don't enter. I am telling you the fact. We may not do like the Mossad. We may not do like Israel, like what they did in the past, hunting those who were sabotaging and who have become terrorists, killing Israelis all over the world. They hunted them in Europe. They hunted them anywhere they are. We are not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But what we are telling you is that as you have made yourself the two against the freedom of Biafra people, just remain where you are. After 5 years, when we have declared Biafra, do not come. I'm just giving you a tip that don't come. Don't come. Remain where you are, because we know you all of you from A to Z. But this is not the time to address that. So I want everybody to listen to this.
This is in-depth analysis.
And it was bound to happen that people would rise up. My father said it. He said, if you don't treat these Biafrans well, their children will rise up. So anybody that is acting as if they are surprised, they're either ignorant or they don't want to face reality. So when the people rise up and begin to agitate, like IPOB and other groups, what you need to do is give them a space. What a true leader does is create space for dialogue. Now, one of the things I praise IPOB and other pro-Biafran groups for, because I know there have been others, is that they have finally brought this story to light. They played a key role, so they must be commended for doing that. Otherwise,
the Biafra story, which his father said that if you do not treat their parent good, their children will rise against you. He acknowledged that finally we have brought the Biafra story to life. I'm going to shock many people today with the exposition we are here to do. So we have just confirmed that this Biafra story, that many people were killed in order to even continue to kill today. Today they have decided that if you talk about Biafra, you are dead. They're going to kill you. They're going to burn your house and everything. And that's exactly what is going on. But what little did they know that not even that can stop us. That can make us very strong. But now that we are going into an open confrontation, which is going to start very soon, I want everybody to listen because we are going to drag all of them into this. There will never be peace until you allow Biafra people to decide their fate in that region. It is the right. Where your rights stop is where other person's rights start. It's our right to freedom, and that is what we are fighting for. And if you think that you are more in number, you conduct a referendum and let us see how it goes. But I want everyone to listen to this particular analysis.
Otherwise, nobody would care about the tragedy of our history. You know, a lot of people talk about Chimamanda's Half of a Yellow Sun as bringing the story to light. In a sense, yes. But even her book received the attention it did partly because of pro-Biafran groups and struggles. Self-determination is something that we must continue to aspire for. You know, it's not about young people only. It's not about any group of people. It's not about Igbos. It's about self-determination. And if you look at most of us here, we come from lands that provide Nigeria with majority of its wealth. And people have called us minorities. And we're tired of that. By the way, you also have oil on Igbo land, you know, so let's not let's make that fact clear, because it's also being used against the Igbos, the fact that they want to come and take other people's oil.
Did you hear that? He is making it very clear that you also have oil in Igbo soil. So anybody telling you do not listen to the Igbo because they want to take your oil is a complete fallacy. That is the propaganda that the ignorant people are flying all over social media. So, and he is a son to Philip Effiong, and that particular position, he has corrected it today, that Igbos also have oil in their soil. So anybody telling you we are fighting for Biafra because of oil is a propaganda. Do not believe that.
We need to understand that this is long-standing propaganda that goes back many years before many of us were born. This is propaganda that has demonized Igbos and has made us feel that we are somehow under the threat of Igbos. So that propaganda is still ongoing, even though the evidence shows that that's not true. And when I talk to my people, the things I tell them, who's your real enemy? You've been given a state since 1967, and you've given the opportunity to control your geographical space and your resources. How have your lives improved? Your lives have only gotten worse. The enemy is not Igbos. The enemies are within you, you're right there in your state. The political and economic elite who are ready to sell you and sell their consciences to make a profit, to make wealth. You should recognize that those are your enemies. Those who would collude with foreign national oil companies to take your wealth away from you, so that your hospitals are in such bad shape. Your roads were horrible until Akpabio came and fixed most of them. Your institutions are deteriorating. You know, you are living in poverty. You can't even enjoy something as basic as electricity supply. So it is for us to redirect, refocus on the real enemy. And it's hard to say, within this space. I understand that time is against us, but we need to refocus and recognize who the real enemy is. And the enemy is not the people that we've lived with in harmony for generations, but those who would work with our enemies to undermine our lives, even though some of those people are right within our families, are from our ethnic groups, are speaking the same languages as we are. Those are real. When we understand that that's the real enemy, I think that will help us to come together and focus on that enemy, and not focus on what propaganda has told us, which is that our neighbors, the Igbos, are our problem. Unfortunately, some of our people are buying into it and are actually turning against Igbos for that reason. If you look at people that were killed during the second coup, Major Ekanem, Major Isong, there's another name. There's someone. There was Major Rock. There was I'm trying to remember the name of someone from what is today the present Rivers State, and many others that people don't want to focus on because they want to make it seem as if it was just Igbos. Or what about the governor of the Western region? I'm trying to remember. And if someone remembers his name, let me know. He was with Ironsi when Ironsi was abducted. The name will come back. Fajuyi, that's his name. Yeah, Colonel Fajuyi. That's a Yoruba man that was killed. So the attacks, you can say in many ways they were primarily against Igbos, but they were not against Igbos because Igbos are Igbos. They were against Igbos because what they thought Igbos represented. These are the people that will challenge and prevent our complete domination and ownership of power. That's how they saw the Igbos, as people who wanted to control everything and take over power. And so anyone they felt was playing that role of trying to prevent them from gaining full power, they went after those people. That's why Fajuyi was killed. That's why there were attempts on my father's life. And my father had to flee from Kaduna in disguise and go to Lagos and eventually escape from Lagos to the east. Is he an Igbo man? No, my father could hardly make a sentence in Igbo. You look at the structure, the leadership of Biafra, the secretary to the government, Enu Akpan and Ibibio man as well. You look at people who play diplomatic roles like Mr. Kobara. I think he's an Ogoni man. Or think about the person who even came up with the name Biafra, Chief Opigo. Or think about one of the major propagandists in Biafra, Okokondem. Think about one of the greatest respected field commanders, Colonel Achibong. How many of these people are Igbos? So it is ridiculous. And that's how the Eastern government was on several levels. I agree, with people who say, well, the Igbos occupied, many key positions. That's true, but not only the Igbos. There were many others, some of whom I've mentioned, and the people I've mentioned were already in the Eastern government. There's the late Ekogin Ambasi, a lawyer. He was also quite significant in the Eastern region, played a number of diplomatic roles before the war. And in the war, I think he headed the Anang province and was also a militia officer. And a lot of these people were together in that body that came and demanded that it is time for us to break away. We're not wanted in this country. We need reassurance. We need safety. We're not getting it. And so we can't continue to exist in fear. We can't continue to exist in a situation where our lives are constantly destroyed. I was a little boy in Enugu before the war. That's where some of the earliest battles took place. And I remember people marching on the streets and they were singing, we are Biafrans fighting for survival in the name of Jesus. We shall conquer. And I remember those people. Sometimes we'll just march beside them. A lot of them were from a range of backgrounds. You could see traders there. You could see landlords. You could see teachers. So this nonsense about this thing being about the Igbos and the Igbo elite is crap. It's absolute crap, and it's one of those distortions that people use not just to denigrate Biafra, but to divide us.
Wow, that's exactly what we are talking about. Haven't listened to Philip Effiong's son, saying it exactly the way it is. What they used to divide us. And he's a Biafran. So he's just trying to tell those who claim that Ndi Igbo, they are looking for Biafra because of oil, to understand that we also have oil in Igbo land, and we are not after the oil. We are going to have what we call brain-based economy. Come and fight for your freedom and take your oil. We're not interested in that. Now, this is one of it. Now we are going into the analysis of the day, which is Nigeria, a global threat. Nigeria, a global threat, and why Nigeria must disintegrate this year to enable lasting peace. When Nigeria become a global threat, you know what that means. But before we go into that, I would like to play one audio. This audio is in Finnish. This audio was recorded, is a report from a journalist from Finland in 1968, where it was said that Biafra is going to fight war again. And the prediction of Biafra or Nigeria going into war again is happening this year. The only difference is that this war is not going to be Biafra-Nigeria war. It is going to be the indigenous people in Nigeria versus the Fulani terrorists. And that's exactly what is happening. And it is going to lead to the disintegration of Nigeria for peace to come to the entire Sahel region. And by extension, to the West and to America, that Nigeria is going to sponsor terrorism if you do not disintegrate Nigeria today. I want everybody to listen to the reporter from Finland.
Nigerian liittovaltiosta eronneen Biafran takaisin palauttamiseksi käyty sota on nyt raivonut 14 kuukautta ja Biafran alue on pienentynyt kolmannekseensa. Liittovaltion joukot ovat katkaisseet kaikki maa- ja meriyhteydet ulkomaailmaan ja ainoa tie ulos Biafrasta kulkee lentokentän kautta. Biafran nykyisin 11-miljoonainen kansa taistelee pienellä muutaman 10 000 miehen armeijallaan monta kertaa suurempaa Nigerian liittovaltion armeijaa vastaan, joka armeija kuitenkaan sekään ei ole eurooppalaisen mittapuun mukaan suuri. Sotaa käydään melkein yksinomaan teitä pitkin ja biafralaiset ovat joutuneet perääntymään kuukausi kuukaudelta, kilometri kilometriltä, hitaasti, mutta varmasti. Suurimmat taistelut käydään tällä hetkellä eteläisellä rintamalohkolla ja vastakkain armeijoiden komentajina ovat siellä raakuudestaan kuuluisa kenraali Adekundle Nigerian puolella ja saksalaissyntyinen ammattisotilas kenraali Rudolf Steiner biafralaisten puolella. Rudolf Steiner on 38-vuotias Ranskan muukalaislegioonan entinen kersantti, joka tuli Biafraan viime joulukuussa ja nimitettiin nykyiseen asemaansa elokuussa. Viime torstaina hän kuvasi Abassa sotilaallista tilannetta omalla lohkollaan seuraavaan tapaan.
Wenn wir genauso viel Waffen und Munition hätten wie der Feind, in drei Monaten wäre der Krieg zu Ende.
Aber nun?
Nun, das kommt drauf an. Ich rechne mit Hilfe.
Jos meillä olisi yhtä paljon ammuksia ja aseita kuin vihollisella, loppuisi sota 3 kuukaudessa, sanoo kenraali Steiner. Mutta nyt lasken kaiken avun varaan, vaikka tästä asiasta ei ole esitettävissä mitään kouriin tuntuvaa. Nykyisellä avustusmäärällä, jonka me saamme, ja jos se pysyy ennallaan, sota kestää 1–5 vuoteen. Uskon, että aivan lähiaikoja ajatellen sissisota on ainoa tai paras keino vapauttaa tämä maa eräänä päivänä.
I want you to understand, this is the only thing I want you to listen. And this is the only thing I want to interpret. Senator Rolf Stenal said it very clear that he believed that Biafra will be free from Nigeria, but that would not happen without war. He believed also that someday Biafra, Nigeria, is going to go into war again for the second time. And by then, Biafra will be freed. You see, it is important for you to follow history. Follow history so that you will not be misled. The Rolf Stenner said from his experience that there is no way Nigeria will remain as one country. That one day Nigeria will go into war again and Biafra will get freedom. And they're going to get that freedom through war. As I'm talking to you now, the war have started. The war that this Rolf Stenner was predicting, including Ojukwu was predicting, have already started. You are not seeing it. We will make it public now. From today, we're going to be making this war. Of course, you see the way they are burning, they are burning our places and all that. That is war going on. Apart from the fact that they are killing our young men and all that, war is already going on. But what I want to tell you is that they are also going down. They come to kill in our land. We also defend ourselves. And they are not finding it easy. They are too ashamed to say it. They are too ashamed to make it public. So the secret war has been going on for 2 years. A lot of you don't know what you call insecurity is not insecurity. They present it. They come to tell you this one is a criminal, that one is a criminal. That war is that some kidnappers are there. There is nothing like that. What you see going on is war. And now that we are going to make this war public, you will understand the dimension of things. That what you think is insecurity are not actually insecurity. That are already what we call secret war. So I'm going to play it again for you people to listen. But of course, I'm not playing this for those who don't understand Finnish. I'm playing it for those who understand Finnish. But the only thing I want to interpret here, is when he announced or they reported that Rolf Stenner, the German mercenary, said that Nigeria will go to war again and Biafra will one day get freedom, but it must come through war. I want you to listen to that again for the second time.
Kuukautta ja Biafran alue on pienentynyt kolmannekseensa. Liittovaltion joukot ovat katkaisseet kaikki maa- ja meriyhteydet ulkomaailmaan ja ainoa tie ulos Biafrasta kulkee lentokentän kautta. Biafran nykyisin 11-miljoonainen kansa taistelee pienellä muutaman 10 000 miehen armeijallaan monta kertaa suurempaa Nigerian liittovaltion armeijaa vastaan, joka armeija kuitenkaan sekään ei ole eurooppalaisen mittapuun mukaan suuri. Sota käydään melkein yksinomaan teitä pitkin ja biafralaiset ovat joutuneet perääntymään kuukausi kuukaudelta, kilometri kilometriltä, hitaasti, mutta varmasti. Suurimmat taistelut käydään tällä hetkellä eteläisellä rintamalohkolla ja vastakkain armeijoiden komentajina ovat siellä raakuudestaan kuuluisa kenraali Adekundle Nigerian puolella ja saksalaissyntyinen ammattisotilas kenraali Rudolf Steiner biafralaisten puolella. Rudolf Steiner on 38-vuotias Ranskan muukalaislegioonan entinen kersantti, joka tuli Biafraan viime joulukuussa ja nimitettiin nykyiseen asemaansa elokuussa. Viime torstaina hän kuvasi Abassa sotilaallista tilannetta omalla lohkollaan seuraavaan tapaan.
Wenn wir genauso viel Waffen und Munition hätten wie der Feind, in drei Monaten wäre der Krieg zu Ende.
Aber nun?
Nun, das kommt drauf an. Ich rechne mit Hilfe.
Jos meillä olisi yhtä paljon ammuksia ja aseita kuin vihollisella, loppuisi sota 3 kuukaudessa, sanoo kenraali Steiner. Mutta nyt lasken kaiken avun varaan, vaikka tästä asiasta ei ole esitettävissä mitään kouriin tuntuvaa. Nykyisellä avustusmäärällä.
And this one is very important as well. Rolf Stenner said that if Biafra had arms, and ammunition that they would defeat Nigeria within 3 months. But because there were no arms and ammunition, the situation suggests that this war may last up to 5 years. You see, there's something they are afraid of today. When you talk, they tell you, where is the weapon? Not that they don't actually want to fight Biafra to free, but they will ask you, where is your weapon? Yet, there are many Biafrans who call themselves Igbo billionaires, always parading themselves on social media, and they are only on celebrity, and they are parading themselves, and they claim they get money. They claim they have money, they claim they are wealthy, yet they don't want to bring the money to fight for the freedom of their people. When you talk, they will tell you, where is the arms and ammunition? And they want to compare themselves with the Israelis. Why Israel, why the Jewish businessmen in America came together, brought their money. They brought money during the time when Israel went to war for the liberation of Israel. They brought money. They had money. The Jewish people in America. Today, when you talk about the Biafra people, they ask you, where do you have the weapon? Not that they don't know that you actually need to fight to get your freedom, but they will want you to say, where is your weapon? Only when you show them weapon, they are going to support you. Is that not stupidity? But we're not going to look at them. There is something that we are going to do to them when the time comes. But I'm telling you today that you see, we will surprise all of you very soon. When we will come out, you are going to look for us and we will not be reachable. I want everybody to watch this.
Jonka me saamme, ja jos se pysyy ennallaan, sota kestää 1–5 vuoteen. Uskon, että aivan lähiaikoja ajatellen sissisota on ainoa tai paras keino vapauttaa tämä maa eräänä päivänä. Nigerialaisilla on Aban rintamalla noin 30 000 miestä ja meillä on 5 000 miestä, sanoi Steiner. Nigerialaisilla on tykistöä, englantilaisia Saladin-panssareita ja Ferret-panssariautoja. Heillä on kaikkea, mitä tarvitaan nykyaikaisen sodan käymiseen. Meillä on tykistöä, mutta ei granaatteja. Olemme saaneet 5–6 tykkiä sotasaaliksi, muuten olemme käsiaseiden varassa. Vihollinen on nyt rauhallisempi, sen eteneminen pysäytettiin 2 päivää sitten. Ennen sitä pojillemme annettiin määräys pitää asemansa ja annettiin 2 panosta. Ymmärrättehän, miten siinä käy. Minä en ainakaan yrittäisi ottaen huomioon senkin, että toinen näistä on säilytettävä itseä varten, sanoo Steiner.
Pour défendre la position, vous voyez ce que c'est? Alors c'est très difficile, psychologiquement parlant. Je me mettrai pas moi avec 2 cartouches pour tenir un front, vu que je tiendrai la dernière pour moi. C'est problématique.
Muiden lehtimiesten takia Steiner vaihtoi välillä puhumansa kielen ranskaksi. Hän kertoi menevänsä silloin torstai-iltapäivänä Oken rintamalle, joka Steinerin mielestä on tärkeämpi kuin Aban rintama. Aba on poliittinen tavoite. Abassa on vain osoitettava, että vihollinen ei kykene menettelemään mielensä mukaan. Mutta toisella rintamalla on torjuttava vihollisen strategisia päämääriä. Sieltä käsin se voi yrittää eristää Ibomaan itäosan kokonaan. Ja silloin sotilaallinen vastarinta voi kokonaan luhistua. Tässä vaiheessa ei vielä voida siirtyä tavanomaista sodankäynnistä sissisotaan. Sodankäynti on täällä erilaista, sanoo Steiner. Henkilökohtaisesti en epäröisi tappaa nigerialaista, joka on tappamassa siviiliväkeä, mutta kun esimerkiksi haavoittunut vihollissotilas joutuu käsiimme, pidän luonnollisena, että noudatamme kansainvälisiä sopimuksia, vaikka emme olekaan niissä sopimuspuolina. Nigerialaiset ovat sitoutuneet noudattamaan niitä, mutta eivät käytännössä tee niin, väittää Steiner.
Now, I do not need to go more into this particular report from Finland in 1968. I'm going to make this full report, which is about 16 minutes, available to every Biafran on YouTube. So we are going to stream it live on YouTube, and it's just about 16 minutes. And this is the national broadcasting of Finland called Yle. So it is there, available in their archive. And I want you also to listen to how we start this exposition this evening, how Nigeria is a global threat and why it must end this year for peace to reign. I want every one of you to pay very much attention to what we're about to do. Right. We have activated the membership only because of the people constituting nuisance here. All right. I want you all to understand this. We are about to start one of the, best expositions so far on how Nigeria has become a global threat. Now, this particular video you are about to listen was recorded a few years ago.
They're willing to cooperate because of that, because they know each other, because there's some tribal ties and engagements that allow them to work together, whereas in other parts of the world they have different objectives and a little bit different view. And so that tends to bring Islamic State and Al-Qaeda into conflict. Here, they're able to overcome that, and that's what, and work for a common purpose in their mind.
Now, he is explaining that in Nigeria, in Sahel, in Africa, the Islamic State has been able to overcome their differences, and they are now working for the same purpose. And this has happened only in Nigeria and the Sahel region. The Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State, and all terrorists have been able to overcome their differences in that Nigeria and in the entire region. And the reason why they overcome their differences is because they want to make Nigeria their safe haven. I want you all to listen to this.
Mike, after the fall of Kabul,
we are having a very important, very, very important exposition today. Because some of you do not understand what is going on, and you need to understand what is going on. All right, so now we go. We are going to start by playing the first video, or the second video, sorry. Or let's say the first video. Yeah.
They're willing to cooperate because of that, because they know each other, because there's some tribal ties and engagements that allow them to work together, whereas in other parts of the world they have different a little bit different view, and so that tends to bring Islamic State and Al-Qaeda into conflict. Here they're able to overcome that, and that's what and work for a common purpose in their mind. I think long term, and we don't know when this will happen, but long term they want to establish themselves, they want to establish a caliphate, and they are willing, we know they have not only the desire, but the will to attack the United States and the West.
Are you hearing that? This man, the general from the US, confirmed that with what is happening in Nigeria today, that they know that Boko Haram, Islamic State, Al-Qaeda, all of them have joined forces together in Nigeria to overrun Nigeria. And then after that, that they are going to attack the United States and the West. That is the reason why you see Nigeria a global threat, and why it must be dissolved this year, 2023, for lasting peace. So now, when you dissolve Nigeria, what this general predicted that is going to happen many years ago, of course, is already happening. So when you dissolve Nigeria, you are actually saving the attack against America. When you dissolve Nigeria, you are actually saving attack against the West. When you dissolve Nigeria, you are also saving the life of African people. You are also saving the life of Biafrans. So you see, what we are fighting for is not the presidency of Nigeria. It's not to resource control. We are fighting for survival. We are fighting to safeguard our unborn children and unborn generation. This is what many people don't understand. That with what is going on today, we have gone over beyond those things of resource, be Nigeria better, because we are now fighting for survival. It is when you are alive, you can do something. So that is the reason why we are going to put our life online, to make sure that we do not validate Nigeria in Biafra territory this year. So I want you people to understand that with this analysis and what you are going to watch again, you will understand that Nigeria has become a global threat. And this is manifesting every day by day.
But long term, they want to establish a caliphate, and they are willing, we know they have not the will to attack the United States and the West.
You said that they will establish a caliphate. Establish this caliphate, that they know, the Americans know, that what is going on in Nigeria, that they are willing to attack the United States and attack the West. And that's exactly what they are going to do. So by the time they lay their hand on our resources, by the time they are in control and in charge of our resources, they will be shipping and exporting terrorists to America and to Europe. And you'll be seeing terrorist attack everywhere. That is the idea. That is the plan. And exactly what is going on today. Now, I want you all to listen to this man again.
I think long term, and we don't know when this will happen, but long term they want to...
He said long time, and that they don't know when this thing is going to happen. Today, I am telling America Intelligence Agency that thing they said they don't know when it is going to start happening has started happening now. He said here that he don't know when it will happen. He said they don't know when it will start to happen. So I am calling the attention that it is happening now. And that is why everybody must keep quiet. Why we make sure we dissolve Nigeria this year. You must keep quiet. Don't interfere. Since you cannot bring solution, don't interfere. We have the solution and we are going to solve our problem by ourselves. Nobody should interfere anywhere. If you bring arms to support Nigeria, we will fight you. Because I know by the time we start, many countries will come. It is the best interest of everybody is fighting for interest. So by the time we start this fight this year, which you already started. We only want to make it public. You are going to come to us. If you like, go and supply Nigeria with weapon and let us see who is going to fight and use your weapon to fight against us. You are going to fight a war that you can never win. Because as I'm talking to you today, every indigenous people in Nigeria, they want to, everybody want out. The same thing you are scared of is the same thing the other tribe in Nigeria are scared of. So we are ready. But what we are saying is that do not interfere. If you interfere, we will fight you. We will fight you. It doesn't matter who you are. Whether you are America, we are going to make friends with your enemy and fight you back. It is going to happen. And I just pray that it doesn't go to that extent. So keep away. Keep yourself away. Since all of you, the America, Europe, everybody is quiet. Just remain silent and allow us to fight our fight and get our freedom this year. As simple as that. Whether we are going to kill ourselves is not your business. Because you have demonstrated not to be your business. You have demonstrated that the only thing that matters to you is our natural resources. So keep quiet. European Union must keep quiet. The United Nations must keep quiet. You know, when I speak like this, some idiot in Finland, so those who don't know their left and right, who cannot even stand me, they will be, hiding in their wardrobe and be writing nonsense. I said, we are going to play the audio of the meeting we had in Finland. So there is nothing like Igbo community. Igbos don't have community in Finland. What we have in Finland is Igbo Union in Helsinki, Igbo Union in Turku, Igbo Union in Vasa. There is nothing like Igbo community. And that is why all these Fulani propagandist media, like Vanguard News, will be writing rubbish. Somebody who is Kisilogy, nobody who knows Kisilogy will put his name in a paper and they are writing it. It only end on social media. On social media. The only thing they achieve is that I'm talking about it like this. They can't do nothing. These are non-entities. These are the people that I know. And they know my capacity. They know me. They know the capacities of Biafrans in Finland. They hide the other, the thing is that some people don't even know the people that they are calling Igbo community. People that don't have nothing. People that are worthless individuals. In the meeting, the other one was, we are going to post every picture of those who are in that meeting. We'll post all their pictures for Biafrans to see them. Because when we were in the meeting, it was supposed to be a secret meeting and would never arrive at any resolution. The meeting, when we arrived at meeting, everybody dropped their phone. Everybody dropped their phone. Nobody went to the meeting hall with phone. They were asking questions. I responded and addressed every single question they asked. And they were happy. Even the so-called Kisilogy, very sluggish and very stupid guy, all of them, I addressed their question. And then after that, him, the so-called Kisilogy, went and physically assaulted one of the Biafra elder in that place, kicked his courtroom. These are the people that they will put their name on a paper and Vanguard will carry it. Because everything that is against Samonekpa, whether it's a dog, they are going to carry it. Whether it's a mbe, whether it's a tortoise, they are going to carry it. Whoever writes anything against Samonekpa, just write something. Just say you are writing against Samonekpa. Then you have made name. They're going to carry you on Vanguard. Vanguard is what they are. Sahara Reporter, everybody will carry it. Just, if you want your name to be on Nigerian newspaper, just write against Samonekpa, you are there. But you see, not everything will address. There are things that will address itself. First of all, there is no Igbo community in Finland. There is no address. There is nothing like Igbo community in Finland. What you have in Finland is Igbo Union. And the people that made Igbo Union in Finland was not where these whole people who wrote this nonsense, where they were not there. I was the chairman of Igbo Union for 4 years. All the ex-chairmen that was in that meeting, everybody, with the meeting, everybody left. And the next thing is that they were, because that was exactly the reason. First of all, they shared secular, and the secular was being shared in all Nigeria, all this Nigeria P2B WhatsApp group. These are the people who cannot make ordinary press release for the killing in Alibo. I want to tell you people one story. These people, Finland, you see, some years back, we bought wheelchair to send to Alibo. These are the people that are writing about Igbo. We bought wheelchair to send to Alibo. And after we bought wheelchair, they begin to argue which state we should send the wheelchair. Some people say Enugu. Some people say Ebonyi. Some people say Imo State. Some people say Anambra. Some people say, oh, there are some people in Abia State. They begin to drag where to send wheelchair that Igbo Union in Finland bought. Before that wheelchair was even launched, the man that is writing as assigning as a chairman of Igbo Union today sabotaged it. He made sure that the Igbo Union chairman then did not succeed. At the end of the day, after 2 good years or 3 good years, the wheelchair was packed and they are looking for where to send the wheelchair to. At the end of the day, the wheelchair was shipped to Nigeria. Now, share the wheelchair to the people who call themselves Igbo Union in Finland. Not share wheelchair. For many years, it was me, Simon Ekpa, that single-handedly bought the wheelchair from Igbo Union Finland. I bought the wheelchair. Before I bought those wheelchairs, all the wheelchairs were, all of them were just, they have been, rust. The rust is everywhere. I bought the wheelchair, all of them, I bought the wheelchair. And I sent it to Ebonyi State to be given to people that are handicapped. Igbo Union Finland could not send ordinary wheelchair. They could not decide where to send this wheelchair. I single-handedly bought it from them many years back. Today, these are the people that will come to write about Igbo. Have you ever heard anything about Finland, about Igbo Finland? It is because of this Biafra struggle that you are hearing Igbo Finland now. Do you know where Finland is? Do you know that there is something like Finland before? It is because of this Biafra. These are people who are worthless, non-entities. People that can't talk when I'm talking. They will hide themselves and write sign signature. They say Igbo Union. Did you see logo? Have you not seen the thing they say a letter from Igbo community? Is that how Igbo community should be? It is just desperation. Desperate. Igbo community that doesn't have logo. Igbo community that doesn't have address. Igbo community that just write in paper. Isn't that not an insult? There is nothing like Igbo community in Finland. Like I'm saying it now, it's in public. They could not, this Igbo Finland, Igbo Union in Finland, they could not, nothing. When I was the chairman, I was the one that saw the offer. When I was the chairman of Igbo Union in Finland, Finland recognized Igbo Union. We were inducted into Finland 100 years anniversary. I did it, including finance. I got finance from Finland to support Igbo Union. How many of them have done it? So all this nonsense, people that are worthless, non-entity, they just carry them. We are Igbo Union, executive. The other one, they call Obi West, carrying paper, writing rubbish. So people that cannot stand where people are talking. But when I will remember them is coming, not now. We are fighting for Biafra. Shebi Obi, is it not February? February. I will keep quiet and watch them. Let us finish this. Let us finish this fighting. We are going to fight. Nigeria is not going to conduct election in Biafra land. After that, we are going to count how the going forward is how it's going to be. So disregard anything Igbo community. There is nothing like Igbo community. These are non-entities, people that have nothing to offer to the community that they claim they are the executive. They have nothing to offer. Not brain, not wisdom, nothing to offer. Ordinary wheelchair, not even new wheelchair, old wheelchair. You know, Achikota Tingwom wheelchair. These people could not share to Ndibu. And I handedly bought it from them and shared to people in Ebonyi State. I did it, and I'm proud of that. And I will do it again tomorrow because they have nothing to offer. They will now write because Obi is contested. Some of them are from Anambra. Like the one Obi West that was writing rubbish that day. He's from Anambra. You know, when you make yourself the enemy, we will tell you that you are our enemy. And we are going to do that enmity very well. I am a case too. I know where to be punching some of them. Don't worry. So, I want you people to understand that the phase where this struggle is now is not a phase. You know, they think that it is what we, come and talk. You are just on social media, blog, and we are going to shock them. I want you people to understand what we are doing now is to save life, to save globe, to save the world, to save America, to save the West. Because if you allow Nigeria to stay the way it is today, it will become the worst thing that will happen to this planet. And once they lay their hand on the resources in our land, Fulanize those, turn out into Islamic State, it becomes a problem to America and to the West. And we don't want that. It is not because we are fighting for America. We are not fighting for America. We are not fighting for the West. We are fighting for ourselves. But by extension, our action today will save the America. Our action today will save the West. But we are not fighting for the West. They can fight for themselves. And I want you people to understand this. I want you to listen and pay attention very, very attentively.
Objectives and a little bit different view. And so that tends to bring Islamic State and Al-Qaeda into conflict. Here, they're able to overcome and common purpose. I think long term, and we don't know when this will happen, but long term they want to establish themselves. They want to establish a caliphate, and they are willing. We know they have not only the desire, but the will to attack the United States and the West. And so if we're unable to disrupt them, if we're unable to disrupt their efforts, you give them that statement, you give them the opportunity to develop their external operations, to develop their capabilities, and then you combine that with what I believe they're trying to do is find a source of reliable income that they can establish that through either kidnap for ransom, what they're doing now. They can get access to the gold mines that are throughout.
Are you hearing that? That what the terrorists were doing is to find source of income. To find source of income. They can lay their hand on gold. They can do kidnapping for ransom like Gumi. The Gumi have been supporting them to be kidnapping for ransom so that they will sustain the war, including the one the government is giving them. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That they want to go into this criminality, into this particular criminality by mining, like you know, in Sambisa Forest, they say there is what we call Californium. Californium, 1 gram of it was $7 million. So you see how Boko Haram have sustained the war. Californium is in Sambisa Forest. Have you not heard about it? So everything this man said here, he thought it is going to happen after 2023, after 2030. He was thinking that this is going to happen after 2030. So I am here this evening to inform them it is happening already. There is nothing like 2030. It is happening already, and we must not allow Nigeria to exit 2023. Never. I want everybody to listen. It is a fight for survival. Fight for survival.
What I believe they're trying to do is find a source of reliable income that they can establish that through for ransom, what they're doing now, access to the gold mines that are throughout the region, and then they can start accessing the smuggling networks that run north to south from the Gulf of Guinea up to the Mediterranean that have been there for centuries. And if they can start to co-opt those and use that for a reliable source of income, you've got the ingredients for something that could be quite bad. We have to watch this. We don't know. It's not there yet. There's not a direct threat to the U.S. right now, or to the West, but it's very destabilizing to the region. And I believe that if it's left unchecked, it could very easily develop into a greater threat and a greater threat to the West and the United States.
Do you hear that? That if they allow Nigeria, of course not Nigeria, if they allow these terrorists to continue, they are going to be a great threat to the West and to the United States. So what we are doing is actually helping them because they don't have solution to it. The only solution is the disintegration of Nigeria, which will disintegrate the interest of this particular terrorist that they will not pose threat to the West and America.
The West, but it's very destabilizing to the region. And I believe that if it's left unchecked, it could very easily develop into a greater threat and a greater.
It has developed. It has developed into a greater threat. He said it is not checked. It can develop into a threat. It has actually developed into a greater threat. That is what I'm
into the region, and I believe that if it's left unchecked, it could very easily develop into a greater threat and a greater threat to the West and the United States.
Now, you have just heard that. Let us listen to this one.
Mike, after the fall of Kabul, you were on this program and you correctly forecast that the Taliban knew where al-Qaeda's leader was inside Afghanistan.
Right.
So I'm wondering what your thought is about where the emerging terror threat is now.
Right. So one of the major affiliates of al-Qaeda, it's called al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. The leader of that group, the deputy of that group, and the top recruiter of that group are today in Afghanistan. So al-Qaeda is a problem that needs to be watched in Afghanistan. The bigger problem in Afghanistan at the moment is ISIS. And ISIS, almost weekly attacks inside Afghanistan. The biggest worry is that they are increasingly recruiting from neighboring countries. And those individuals, particularly Tajikistan, those individuals are coming in where they're getting training from ISIS. And the concern is that they might leave Afghanistan, go back to their home countries, and conduct attacks against Western interests.
You see, they may go back to their home countries and conduct attack against Western interests. That is this only solution to this from the African, perspective or the African context is that you must divide Nigeria. I'm not saying you should divide. We are pulling out of Nigeria, not even divided.
Embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa.
You see, the bigger problem is actually in Africa. Where do you have the bigger problem of terrorists today in Nigeria? Is there any other country in Africa that you have actually a bigger terrorist threat? It's in Nigeria. I want you to listen. He mentioned Afghanistan. Afghanistan was not even a bigger one. Afghanistan that has almost the best military, U.S. military hardware, military equipment, fighter jet, helicopter. This man say Afghanistan is not even a threat. The bigger threat is in Africa. Where will you say presently? Which African country presently have the most highest terrorists? Where? It's Nigeria. So what we are saying now is that I want you all to listen to this.
Getting training from ISIS, and the concern is that they might leave Afghanistan, go back to their home countries, and conduct attacks against Western interests. Think embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia, all the way to West Africa.
To West Africa, he refused to mention Nigeria. I don't know. Is there any other West Africa country that you have terrorists like you have terrorists now? That is, everybody know. He will refuse to mention Nigeria. This is the problem of these people, because some of them are getting paid. They maybe not directly, but they benefit from whatever interest they protect. They benefit from Nigeria. Now, listen. He mentioned West Africa. He mentioned Somalia. Is Somalia not a country? Is Somalia a country, a region? Because Somalia is a country. Why did he come to West Africa and he mentioned West Africa instead of mentioning a country? He started by, why didn't he say East Africa and North Africa? In North Africa, in West Africa. He mentioned Somalia. And when he come to West Africa, instead of mentioning Nigeria, he said West Africa. I want you people to see that all these things you see, they are never truthful to themselves.
And conduct attacks against Western interests. Think embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia all the way to West Africa, where you've got both Al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates. They have control huge swaths of territory. They've conducted primarily local attacks so far, but at some point, Western embassies, Western military bases in both Africa and possibly in Europe could become targets. And if we're going to make a prediction for 2023, I'd say we're going to see a terrorist attack against a Western interest somewhere in the world.
Are you hearing it? That in 2023, the prediction is that you are going to see terrorist attack in some Western world. Terrorist attack in some Western world because they have succeeded in gaining some kind of safe haven in Nigeria. I want you people to understand that this is the propaganda. When you hear media propaganda, this is it.
Against Western interests, think embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia all the way to West Africa, where you've got both Al-Qaeda affiliates.
You see, I don't understand. Why would somebody be mentioning all the way from Somalia instead of saying North Africa? And instead of coming to say to all the way to Somalia to Nigeria, he said all the way to Somalia to West Africa. What does that? Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. That is to show you he is not being truthful to himself.
And you've got ISIS affiliate in Africa, all the way from Somalia all the way to West Africa, where you've got both Al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates. They have control huge swaths of territory. They've conducted primarily local attacks so far, but at some point, Western embassies, Western military bases in both Africa and possibly in Europe could become targets. And if we're going to make a prediction for 2023, I'd say we're going to see a terrorist attack against a Western interest somewhere in the world.
Well, that's terrifying. It's sobering. It's a reminder that declaring victory was too early.
Terrorism has always waxed and waned. It has always gone up and down. And I think it's starting to bounce back again.
And I want you all to understand that, one moment.
Mike.
One moment. I want you all to understand there is a news coming up just a few moments ago that, a man, they're called I want you all to watch this. He said that, I want people to understand that, like I said, I'm making it official today. I said that what you hear when they say insecurity in the Southeast is not insecurity. We are at war. Now the war is becoming official. And when you look at what this man said, they said, President Buhari has approved the deployment of advanced technology to tackle insecurity in Southeast Nigeria. This man have not approved the deployment of advanced technology to tackle the killings all over Nigeria, to tackle the Fulani invasion in southern Kaduna. He did not approve the technology to be deployed in Kaduna. He did not approve this particular technology to be deployed in the Northeast. He did not approve this technology to be deployed in the Northwest. He did not approve this technology to be deployed in Benue State and, of course, in the Middle Belt, where Fulani has massacred millions of people, and today we have millions of people in IDP camp. He has not deployed them even to his hometown, where his convoy and all his men is being attacked as the state manage them. But he is deploying it to the Southeast to tackle insecurity. He is not deploying it to tackle insecurity. He is deploying it for war because we are already fighting war there. I do not understand the insecurity that the market, women, where women sell, do buying and selling. I don't know what kind of insecurity or security threat does a market pose to the Nigerian military. I do not understand what security threat do market that they do buying and selling. They sell food stuff. I do not know what kind of security threat does such market pose against Nigerian army. But that is where they are burning. I do not know what kind of security threat does houses, villages of people pose against Nigeria state. But that is where they are burning. It is called economic jihad. Today, he approved the deployment of technology. Let them come. We are at war for the Biafra freedom. Let them deploy all manner of technology. Ask yourself, are they tired of manpower? Why are they deploying technology now? They have men. Where are the men? Where are the military? Where are the 100,000 of the military? Are they tired? Why are they deploying technology? They don't have men again. They have men. They have armored tank. Where are the armored tank today? Where are the men today? They are deploying. You are going to deploy those security or those, what is it called? You are deploying that technology. We are going to deploy our own technology. You will deploy the technology. We will deploy our own. It is starting gradually. I am telling you the fact. Before 25th of February, we will know where we are. Believe me. Is it not this election? You can't have it. You can never ever conduct election again in Biafra territory. We can never validate you again. That is what is going on. Deploy all those security, deploy everything to Biafra. Biafra have decided to leave and they are going to declare Biafra very soon. Once we declare it, we will defend it. So declare, bring them. I was thinking that you are going to approve 5 million military to Biafra land. All the 2,000, 3,000 you are deploying, where are they? Where are they? You deploy 1,000. 1,000 military have been drafted to the southeast. 2,000 have been drafted to the southeast. 3,000 have been drafted to the southeast. In addition to the Bubago, where are they? Where are they? The secret war is ongoing. And all you do is to go and bomb market. Go and start bombing market, bombing villages, where you have innocent people, defenseless people, you bomb their market. So I thought you have men. Why are you deploying technology? Are you tired of fighting? You are tired of fighting? You want to go into a robot? Bring robot. We will deploy our own to counter your robot. We have Biafran scientists too. And believe me, they are not sleeping. We are going to drag everybody into this war. Everybody, from the governors to all of you, we are going to drag all of you and you must pay the price of killing Biafrans. My own, as a messenger of Biafra people, is to come here and say the message according to the way it is, without missing word. We are not scared of you. We are not scared of anybody. This war, we are going to fight it to finish. We will drag you into it before February. I don't even know whether I will say drag it, because we are already at war. The only thing I have said is that we are going to make it public. So let him deploy all manner of technology. Nigeria can never defeat Biafra again. I want to make it categorically clear today. And those who are thinking that what we are doing is a joke, or that it is what all these criminals who have done it in IPOB before, where, this sabotage Mazenam can. If you think that that's what we are doing here, you are in for a very long thing. Believe me. Nigeria can never defeat Biafra again. You can never. In 2023, it is not 5 years' time. It is not even 2 years' time. We are going to finish this thing. You see this thing that our father started in 1960 something. We will finish it this year. You see all the prediction, Nigeria will break up. This one, it is all this prediction we end this year. It is a fight for survival. Record me, cut it, send it to ICC, send it to UN, send it to everywhere. This fight, I know my right, and I am fighting it with everything in me. And you can't stop me. You can't. You can't.
After the fall of Kabul, you were on this program and you correctly forecast that the Taliban knew where al-Qaeda's leader was inside Afghanistan.
Right.
So I'm wondering what your thought is about where the emerging terror threat is now.
So one of the major affiliates of al-Qaeda, it's called al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent, the leader of that group, the deputy of that group, and the top recruiter of that group are today in Afghanistan. So al-Qaeda is a problem that needs to be watched in Afghanistan. The bigger problem in Afghanistan at the moment is ISIS. And ISIS, almost weekly attacks inside Afghanistan. The biggest worry is that they are increasingly recruiting from neighboring countries. And those individuals, particularly Tajikistan, those individuals are coming in where they're getting training from ISIS. And the concern is that they might leave Afghanistan, go back to their home countries, and conduct attacks against Western interests. Think embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia, all the way to West Africa, where you've got both al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates. They have controlled huge swaths of territory. They've conducted primarily local attacks so far, but at some point, Western embassies, Western military bases in both Africa and possibly in Europe could become targets. And if we're going to make a prediction for 2023, I'd say we're going to see a terrorist attack against a Western interest somewhere in the world.
Fellow Nigerian, in search of excellence for Africa, my mission remains to create awareness, advance practical solutions, and transform mindsets via case studies. Together, let's midwife deliverance for our race, country, and continent. Please share this video. I am Dr. Israel Noyerem Davidson. Thank you. In 2001, US-led forces overthrew a Taliban-led Afghan government following the 9/11 attacks led by the al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. For the next 20 years, the US and allies enforced democratic ideals, built up Afghan security forces, and provided operational air cover. The Taliban continued to attacks. Now, eventually, under President Trump, the US promised to pull out if Taliban agreed to stop attacks and hosting terrorist groups. Today, the Taliban militants have declared Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and overrun most of the country at lightning speed with little or no resistance from the 300,000 US-trained and heavily equipped Afghan forces. U.S. General
Mike,
could not
after the fall
believe
of Kabul, you were on this program and you correctly forecast that the Taliban knew where al-Qaeda's leader was inside Afghanistan.
Right.
So I'm wondering what your thought is about where the emerging terror threat is now.
So one of the major affiliates of al-Qaeda, it's called al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. The leader of that group, the deputy of that group, and the top recruiter of that group are today in Afghanistan. So al-Qaeda is a problem that needs to be watched in Afghanistan. The bigger problem in Afghanistan at the moment is ISIS. And ISIS, almost weekly attacks inside Afghanistan.
Of an army that size in 11 days. There'll be many postmortems on this topic, but right now is not that time.
it is believed the Afghan soldiers, though diehards, had unquenchable allegiance to jihadist ideologies practiced by Taliban. They were Afghan soldiers by day, Taliban at heart, and Taliban at night.
And you correctly forecast that the Taliban knew where al-Qaeda's leader was inside Afghanistan.
Right.
So I'm wondering what your thought is about where the emerging terror threat is now.
So one of the major affiliates of al-Qaeda, it's called al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. The leader of that group, the deputy of that group, and the top recruiter of that group are today in Afghanistan. So al-Qaeda is a problem that needs to be watched in Afghanistan. The bigger problem in Afghanistan at the moment is ISIS. And ISIS, almost weekly attacks inside Afghanistan. The biggest worry is that they are increasingly recruiting from neighboring countries. And those individuals, particularly Tajikistan, those individuals are coming in where they're getting training from ISIS. And the concern is that they might leave Afghanistan, go back to their home countries, and conduct attacks against Western interests. Think embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia all the way to West Africa, where you've got both al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates.
And Taliban at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too.
Al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates. They have control huge swaths of territory. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia all the way to West Africa, where you've got both al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS
Taliban
affiliates.
at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too. So Afghanistan was simply handed over to the mullahs to govern, based on their shared jihadist ideological leaning. The south and middle belt of Nigeria should wake up with urgency. The Afghan situation is cooking fast in Nigeria today. Afghanistan is #1 on global terrorism
West Africa,
list.
where
Nigeria
you've got both al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates. They have control huge swaths of territory. They've conducted primarily local attacks so far, but at some point, Western embassies against Western interests. Think embassies. The bigger terrorism problem is actually in Africa, all the way from Somalia all the way to West Africa, where you've got both al-Qaeda affiliates and you've got ISIS affiliates. They have control huge swaths of territory. They've conducted primarily local attacks so far, but at some point, Western embassies, Western military bases in both Africa and possibly in Europe could become targets. And if we're going to make a prediction for 2023, I'd say we're going to see a terrorist attack against a Western interest somewhere in the world.
It's sobering. It's a reminder that declaring victory was too early.
Terrorism has always waxed and waned. It has always gone up and down. And I think it's starting to bounce back again.
They're willing to cooperate because of that, because they know each other, because there's some tribal ties and engagements that allow them to work together, whereas in other parts of the world they have different objectives and a little bit different view. And so that tends to bring Islamic State and al-Qaeda into conflict. Here they're able to, and that's what, and work purpose in mind. I think long term, and we don't know when this will happen, but long term they want to establish themselves, they want to establish a caliphate, and they are willing, we know they have not only the desire, but the will to attack the United States and the West. And so if we don't disrupt them, if we're unable to disrupt their efforts, you give them that safe haven, you give them the opportunity to develop their external operations, to develop their capabilities, and then you combine that with what I believe they're trying to do is find a source of reliable income that they can establish that through either kidnap for ransom, what they're doing now. They can get access to the gold mines that are throughout the region, and then they can start accessing the smuggling networks that run north to south from the Gulf of Guinea up to the Mediterranean that have been there for centuries. And if they can start to co-opt those and use that for a reliable source of income, you've got the ingredients for something that could be quite bad. We have to watch this. We don't know, it's not there yet. There's not a direct threat to the U.S. right now or to the West, but it's very destabilizing to the region. And I believe that if it's left unchecked, it could very easily develop into a greater threat and a greater threat to the West and the United States. We see that this has been very deliberate, and so they've been working on this for a while. So they have gone out, they being al-Qaeda affiliates, JNM, others, to engage with key leaders in key locations and start to recruit early. And then that allows them to seed the ground. And so as they then move areas, they have some presence already. And we know they're active throughout the region. Al-Qaeda's been active here since pre-9/11. They've obviously moved to Afghanistan. They're coming back to this region, and I think they've got quite a network that we just don't have good visibility on. So there's more underneath the surface than many realize. They're able to into that. I think the other piece of why it moves so quickly is there's some people that feel isolated, separated from the government. We have to work on governance. Al-Qaeda, whether we agree with it or not, brings some level of justice to many of these areas and some level of services that aren't provided by central governments. And they provide some representation to people who are minority groups that are not, they don't feel part of the larger communities such as the Fulani or the Tuareg. And so you put that together and it creates the conditions that allow them to rapidly move. We can bring. What are the key elements that the United States brings? What is the expertise? What is the intelligence sharing? What is the unique capabilities that we bring, and engage those at the right level? And we can have an outsized effect to a very small presence. We don't have to have a large troop presence in order to have that enabling effect. So instead of worrying about what is the size of the presence, I think we should look at what is the appropriate engagement across the government from all levels, from State Department, from aid, and then as well as what the military does.
Right. Having listened to that, I'm going to now bring to you a different, let me also bring this particular video to remind you, to remind Biafrans, to remind the Fulani Caliphate about the revolution of the Obadia, Dr. Obadia Malafia, the former Central Bank Deputy Governor. And so this is happening, and therefore many of them have actually forgot what Obadia Malafia said. So let us go there and listen to this particular revelation.
Campaign targeting community, which has been going since January. At least 21 people were killed within the 24-hour period, 19th and 20th of July, in attacks by armed assailants of Fulani ethnic communities in southern Kaduna State. End of quote. That is a report from a particular religious group. So it shows the kind of coloration the crisis in southern Kaduna, has taken. So many of them. A statement by President Muhammadu Buhari's media aide Garba Shehu about 3 weeks ago, to be precise, July 21st, came out condemning the attacks. It was made known to the public, and he said the statement reads, "Problem in southern Kaduna is an evil combination. Of politically motivated banditry, revenge killings, and mutual violence by criminal gangs acting on ethnic and religious grounds." So you see what I'm saying now? So many angles. Let's get down to business this morning. And let me bring up Dr. Obadiah Malafia, former Deputy Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria. He's also an astute politician. He joins me, a stakeholder from Southern Kaduna, joins me this morning on Skype. Dr. Obadiah, a very lovely morning to you.
Oh, hello. Good morning to our listeners, and good morning to you. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you, sir. Let's get down to business, really. Can you give us a brief chronicle of how it all started in Southern Kaduna? You're a stakeholder there. Just a brief chronicling of how the entire thing started, the crisis in Southern Kaduna.
Well, thank you so very much again. Let me just set my cards on the table. I was born in a small, beautiful village called Randa. It's a mission settlement, ancient village in southern Kaduna, in Sanga local government, to be precise. It lies at the tip
As the Fulanization and Islamization of Nigeria continues, you know, when we talk, they tell you to come to Nigeria. This man talked and they assassinated him. He talked and they killed him. So whenever you want to talk, they will tell you to come to Nigeria and talk, because that is their killing ground. And that is why some of us who have found ourselves in so many places in exile can fight this particular terrorist government from exile. We are going to fight our freedom from exile. And we are going to get this freedom from exile. You know, when we started this whole thing, we told you people that we will bring Biafra from diaspora. Some people did not know what we saw. You didn't know what we have seen then. When we were telling you that Biafra, we are going to bring it from diaspora, you don't know. It is happening today. We are going to fight Nigeria from afar, and we are defeating them already. We are defeating them. We will fight them. We will defeat them. And it is going to, everything will end this year. Believe me. This man that is talking here, they killed him. He was a prominent Nigerian who rose up to the position of the deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He spoke the truth. They killed him. He's not the only one. Everybody that has ever dared to challenge and speak truth in Nigeria has been killed. And he's he's one of them, a very prominent one. His people was being killed in southern Kaduna. He went on to investigate, find something, and say something, and he was killed. Now, most of the people that knows what he knows, all of them are now scared. They can't talk again. Do you understand it now? That is why you can write everything in this world. Nobody is going to listen to you. If you like, write to America now. Write to Joe Biden now. Tell Joe Biden that Simon Ekpa is inciting violence in Nigeria. It is not inciting violence. I am defending my people at the same time fighting for my freedom. Joe Biden will not respond to you. I know my right. It is not me that say you should not know your right. If you cannot talk the way I'm talking, it's your business. I'm going to talk even what I've been saying, because the time has come. So if you tell me to come to Nigeria, this is what you are inviting me to Nigeria to do. And that's why some of them are crying. Call Finland. Finland, oh, deport him, repatriate him, oh, this, that. And then you see where they are twisting something that faceless people wrote. People that are not even, that cannot even represent their family in any way. They will come and say, oh, Finland, Igbo community wrote. Igbo community wrote. Wrote what? You know, if somebody is distancing himself from Simon Ekpa, am I part of you before? I do not know why somebody would distance himself from Simon Ekpa. They say Igbo Union, distance, Igbo community. I have said there is nothing like Igbo community. How can something that doesn't exist distance itself from me? That doesn't exist. I would have no, apart from the fact that I am going to play over 2 hours of the conversation we had in the meeting, because we have the 2 hours, over 2 hours of the conversation, where the shouting and the questions are responded to the questions and all that. I'm going to bring it to the media and I'm going to release the audio. People will enjoy themselves as they listen to how the so-called Igbo community had their meeting. And you can now listen to where did they arrive at distancing themselves from Simon Ekpa. They can't do the half of things I have done in the past. When I was the chairman of Igbo Union Finland, I banned Biafra flag in Igbo where we are doing Yam Festival. Can they do it? That was when Nigeria can happen more kunisi. I banned Biafra flag from, all these people you see today that are, all these criminals. I said, you don't dare bring Biafra flag to where Igbo people are doing Yam Festival. And nobody dare do that. Some of them that are writing this thing today were part of those who decided not to come to Igbo Union, New Yam Festival because of, I said, Biafra flag must not be brought to the hall. Some of them that are shouting, Peter Obi. They were the one who were fighting me. That I said, why should I say they should not bring Biafra flag? They were doing Biafra then. I was one Nigeria. So, when I look at all these things, I have been there. If I am Biafra today, fighting for Biafra, which is the right thing to do, who are those people? Have they served Nigeria like me? Who knows them in Nigeria? What have they done for Nigeria? They have done nothing. I have served Nigeria. I have served Nigeria. I have served immigration, Nigeria immigration. I have served Nigeria immigration. How many of you know that? You don't know now. It's only the one I tell you, you will know. As you see me, I have served Nigeria immigration in sport. So what have they done for Nigeria? These people have done nothing. They have suffered. They have absolutely contributed absolutely nothing to Nigeria. So what do they know about Nigeria? They have, so when I look at these people, you want to say, you distance yourself from someone. I have done worse than you. I have done worse. Because I was the only person that banned Biafra flag from entering Igbo Union New Year Festival in Finland. So if you come and say you distance yourself, it is not up to what I have done. But where is Simon Ekpa today? I am here fighting for Biafra because that is the right thing to do. So when you hear them say, oh, when the report came, we look at his report from Finland. If you know what this this criminal in Kuwait, they call Mohammed Abbas. Oh, if you look at the report we get from Finland, it is bad. It is this, it is that. And then they don't know. The same people knows that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was protesting in the street of London for Nigeria. So somebody will come today and tell me, and tell them, when you hear them say some Igbo community, there is nothing like Igbo community. Tell them, I was the only history of Igbo Union. I don't think it has happened anywhere in the world. I was the only person in the history of Igbo Union that banned Biafra flag from entering where Igbo people are celebrating something. I want you to show me any person that have done it anywhere in the world. I did it. It is not like bragging, but it is what has happened for history to happen. If there is no event, there will be no history. All these things will go down in the history of Biafra. So what can they do? What is it that somebody is going to do today that I have not done even worse than that? But that is not even the problem. The problem is that when you have a meeting with somebody and the meeting is supposed to be a secret, it's supposed to remain secret. But because they have released a statement that is not the agreement of the people that were part of the meeting, we are going to release the pictures of everybody that we can lay our hand on. Those who were part of the meeting, all your pictures will be on social media. I am going to make sure that in these 2 hours of voice, I will put all your pictures there so that Biafra can know who you are. Because all of you are faceless. Nobody knows who is Kisiloji. Nobody knows who is Obi West. Nobody knows all the people that were part of that meeting. Your faces, except I don't have access to your picture, that your picture will not be there. I will put your picture for Biafra people on ground to know you. That is what I'm going to do. So you think you are fighting Simon Ekpa? You are not fighting Simon Ekpa. You are fighting against Biafra people. And many of them are back home. So your pictures will be there so that Nigeria will praise you and give you an award for releasing a stupid statement without logo, without address, ordinary paper. And then they are born this in Finland. You can imagine a whole Finland.
State, state, and we are and saddles between Nasarawa and Plateau State. We're very right at the border. But actually, I didn't grow up there. I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Nasarawa State because my father was a missionary, a pastor, an evangelist.
Right.
He traveled quite a lot and ended up settling there. So I didn't really grow up at home, I put it that way. That's number one. So that gives me some kind of emotional detachment, to be able to see things clearly and objectively. There, my own really grew up there. Number two, part of my family are Muslims.
Okay.
Uncles, aunties. In fact, the king of our area, in a predominantly 99% Christian area, is a Muslim. And he's my auntie, the first cousin of my mother. And I regard them as family. So I can't afford to play the Islamophobia card.
Exactly.
That's really good for me. So having cleared that, it gives me a objective perspective from which to analyze what is happening. Immediate crisis has been going on for the last 2 years. The opening salvo was the killing of the Adara king in 2018. There had been some killings in his kingdom and around Kachia area. And, tensions had been rising. So the governor, he sought audience with the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai.
Right.
He went there to see him. They had a good meeting, presumably. And on his way back, together with his wife and driver, they were waylaid on the highway where they were all abducted. The driver was allowed to go. The bandits raped his wife.
Oh my.
The wife's Majesty the King, they raped her in front of him before setting her off. And after collecting a ransom of about 10 million on the promise that they were going to release him, he was brutally assassinated. It did not stop.
The same thing they brought to Biafra land, thing they are doing, the Fulanis are doing in Biafra land today, was happening in Kaduna. This is what this is explaining here.
When the elders of Adara land demonstrated, the police came, rounded them up, and put them in prison for about a year with no real charges or trials. They were eventually released. Meanwhile, attacks were incessant. They were continuous. It was a case of continuous pounding of an unarmed and defenseless people. And it has continued. It has spread from Adara land to other villages and Manchok, Kagoro very recently, Kurmin Masara, Takwai Isa, Ataka Mawe, Fadang Atakar, Lung Duga, Zangon Kataf, Magama, Zamando, the list goes on and on. The figures are not reliable, but it is clear that we are talking of a very serious and well calculated and well strategized, killings.
What caused these killings, Dr. Obadiah?
That amount to genocide.
What could have caused this? What could have caused this particular killings that you've enumerated? What is the cost? Do you have an idea?
Well, again, let me just also clear one fact that in the 80s and 90s, you asked me for the immediate causes, which the immediate, process of killings, which I explained, but it goes as far back as the 80s and 90s. You may have heard of the infamous Zangon Kataf killings.
That's right.
In which the settlers, Zango means a settlement. And in ancient times, the house of people who were itinerant traders used to pass through there. They would settle there and, water their camels and their donkeys, and then proceed on whatever journeys they were going to. And then eventually became a kind of more permanent settlement for the Hausa Fulani community. Hence, it is called Zangon Kataf, in Kataf land. Then they began to demand control of the market and even demand to have their own chief. And of course, which was not acceptable to the people, and it eventually led to the infamous Kataf riots and killings, which were mutually violent, if I may put it that way. And I can tell you this because I heard directly from him himself. General Zamani Lekwot, very distinguished military officer, retired from the Nigerian army, former governor of Rivers State, and ambassador to Senegal. He, together with another very patriotic colonel, Colonel Johanna Madeki, they went to the police to report what was going on and to seek for help. And you will not believe it. The police detained both of them.
Why?
Yes.
Are you hearing that? The police detained both of them. The question you should be asking yourself is, police detain a colonel, police detain a military man who go to report what the Fulani terrorists are doing to their people. Police detain them. Do you think if that police is an Igbo man, the police will detain them? The answer is no. Do you think if the police is a Yoruba man, the police will detain them? The answer is no. The police would have respected the law and listened to them instead of detaining them. But because Fulani have taken over the police, so they gave order to detain them. Because the people they want to file report against is in charge of the police. They are also in charge of the military. The same Southern Kaduna you are seeing now, the GOC of Enugu 82 Division was in charge of this particular Southern Kaduna where this killing was going on. So who do you report to? Nobody. You have to report to yourself. Take charge of the security of your land, because Fulani terrorists have taken charge of the police, the army, the executive, the judiciary, the National Assembly, and everything has been taken over by the Fulani terrorists. You don't have any choice. Don't need to go to them. That is what the Biafra people have done. That is what gave birth to the Eastern Security Network. And we are going to fund them till the last day Biafra will stay in Nigeria. So when you hear all this testimony, you ask yourself, why this thing was going on in Kaduna, all these Igbo who call themselves P2B people, they were all thinking that Southern Kaduna was not Nigeria. No, they thought it was not Nigeria. So it is not their business. Today, the same thing this man is saying now is happening in the Southeast, where the same person who was the GOC of a 2 division was in charge of Southern Kaduna, and he has now brought the same people to Southeast, and the killing is going on. They now begin to write against Simon Ekpa because Simon Ekpa say Biafra must come this year. Do you understand it? Because they follow who is protecting them. First, when Buhari entered as a rock, he brought all of them from all other African countries. Now, when Buhari begin to appoint other leaders of the Fulani terrorists, any place they appoint them, this or that one will drag them there. So now they have dragged them into Southeast because of the GOC of 82 Division Enugu, who came to give shield to the massacre in Ehamufu. He did not only give shield, he ordered the military to burn houses, and they burnt about 100. Over 100 houses were burned in Ehamufu by military, not the Fulani, by military. Ask yourself, who are these people protecting? Who are these military working for? Whose interest are the military protecting? Is it the interest of the people, or interest of the government, or interest of the Fulanis? Because the interest of the people be the interest of the government. So definitely, it cannot be the interest of the people. So whose interest? Interest of Islamic State. Because the people that came to Hamufu to kill were actually, their main motive is to kill and evict the people from Hamufu. So they couldn't do it. Military have to come and do it by themselves. Do you see it? Do you hear that people that came to report about the Fulani invasion was detained by police? Who is the Fulani? Oh my goodness. This is happening in Biafra land today. And they thought that, where is this coming from? This cannot happen in Nigeria. It happened in Southern Kaduna, but they didn't pay attention because it was not coming from them. When it was happening in Southern Kaduna, everybody was deaf. Nobody was hearing the only thing we see on social media is that the other day they have lied 100 bodies and they are giving the mass burial. And everybody is shouting, oh my God, Southern Kaduna, what did these people do? The same thing is now happening, and they are now behaving as if they were not in Nigeria before when it was happening in Southern Kaduna. They now behave that, oh, such thing is abomination. It has never happened before. We were there when this particular thing happened in the Southeast is happening in Southern Kaduna. And when they sent this particular GOC to some places, they rejected it. I was told that Oduduwa, Yoruba people rejected him and then forwarded him to the Southeast. So I want everybody to watch.
Which were mutually violent, if I may put it that way.
Okay.
And I can tell you this because I heard directly from him himself. General Zamani Lekwot, very distinguished military officer, retired from the Nigerian Army, former governor of Rivers State, and ambassador to Senegal. He, together with another very patriotic colonel, Colonel Yohanna Madeki, they went to the police to report what was going on and to seek for help. And you will not believe it. The police detained both of them.
Oh my.
Yes. Now, General Zamani Lekwot is a highly principled officer, very patriotic. As a young officer, he distinguished himself during the Nigeria-Biafra War. And somehow he was not in the good books of General Ibrahim Babangida because he used to tell him to his face what he felt was wrong with his policies. So they were waiting for an alibi, and they got it.
And when he said he distinguished himself during Nigeria-Biafra War, I do not need to tell you what that means. He said that general distinguished himself during the Nigeria-Biafra War. So, as such, he should be respected. And you need to know what that distinguishing himself during Nigeria-Biafra War means because he fought against Biafra. And today, Fulani killed them. Not only that Fulani killed them, they also humiliated him by locking him up, detaining him on top of the killing of his people. That is the price you pay for fighting against Biafra. Today, all of them are regretting why they fight. That is why this year, when we drag them into this war, everybody will fight against whoever they want to fight against. You think they will come back and fight against Fulani or fight for Fulani? It's never going to happen. We will drag everybody into this war. We will drag Otom into this war. We will drag, other group that are not part of it. Everybody will fight this war together. Believe me, it is not going to be what you see that time. This time around is different. Southern Kaduna will fight also.
Biafra War. And you will not believe it. The police detained both of them.
Oh my.
Yes. Now, General Zamani Lekwot is a highly principled officer, very patriotic. As a young officer, he distinguished himself during the Nigeria-Biafra War. And somehow he was not in the good books of General Ibrahim Babangida because he used to tell him to his face what he felt was wrong with his policies. So they were waiting for an alibi, and they got it in the Zangon Katav riot. So they arrested him, detained him, created a kangaroo court, kangaroo court, and tried him. In the end, even the judge said that his hands were tied, as it were. Convicted him and sentenced him to death.
I am here.
General Zamani Lekwot has explained to me himself what they did to him.
For reporting Fulani, they sentenced him to death. For reporting Fulani killing in his community, they sentenced him to death. That is where some OB supporters are telling Sadiqa to come to Nigeria now. Come to Nigeria now. We will destroy Nigeria from afar, and we will restore the nation from different nations in Nigeria. Nigeria is gone, collapsed. Tell you come to Nigeria. Look at the story of Nigeria. Listen to it. If a man who have served as a former governor, a military officer who fought and distinguished himself during Biafra war, can be treated like this for reporting a terrorist in his community. Who are you? Who are you? Even that time, Fulani has not taken over everywhere. So who are you? That is why we are not bothered of what this nonsense you are writing. That's why we are not bothered of all this propaganda, all this news media. You are all inside the bottle, caged. So we are not moved by what you write.
Torture, the agony. That for 2 weeks, they took him to the section where people are condemned and ready to be killed.
Oh, wow.
They put him next to the execution chamber. Early in the morning, they wake him up and say, let him have his last breakfast. They will open the execution chamber as if they are taking him there, and then they will close it again. They kept doing that for 2 weeks. Most people would have run insane. But he is a strong man. He became toughened psychologically, endured it until the outcry of the public dissuaded the Babangida administration from committing murder. So, Zandon Kataf, and in the 90s, they came to my local government, which is Sanga local government, during all this Sharia palaver.
Okay.
And they brought a huge amount of money to the local house chief and told him that his duty was to enforce Sharia in Sanga land.
Who are the they,
area that
Dr. Badaya?
The military administration of that time, together with some foreign jihadist interests, they get a huge amount of money in Gwentu. Please take this record it is extremely important.
Yeah.
So a young man.
That reminds me, he said they brought money, and that they should follow jihadist interest and all that. I want to show you people that it is also happening as I speak. We were told that in Enugu Ezike, they gathered some men and they promised them money. They asked them to leave and abandon Biafra struggle. They asked them to abandon Biafra struggle, and I'm going to put here. They said they should abandon Biafra struggle, that they are going to be paying them salary. That is it. Now tell me, how can salary be the solution for your own freedom? I want you, look at these people you see on the screen. These are people that are fighting for Biafra. They went to Enugu Ezike. They said they want to go and collect amnesty. Have you seen where a freedom fighter is collecting amnesty? I don't know whether they are fighting for freedom or they are fighting for resource control. I do not know the kind of resource they were fighting to control in Enugu Ezike. But look at them. They want to collect salary. They gathered them. They say, come. Lay down your weapon, stop Biafra, stop agitating, we'll be paying you salary every month. What these idiots that you see here now, of course, they are not many. What these idiots don't know is that when they are paying this salary, it will just last for a while. And then the person that will change the salary will come. And Nigeria have happened to them. They never receive that salary again. Now they gather them, tell them, come. We are going to be paying you salary every month. So leave Biafra. And some of them will accept it. Some of them will not accept it. And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said they will pay you money. They will promise you even to buy your house in Dubai. They will promise you everything, but you can't stop this Biafra from coming. You can't stop this Biafra from coming. Tell the people in Enugu Ezike, the few of them, not all of them.
But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within.
And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully. And they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere. From everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you.
They bought them.
Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Oba Biasika and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't.
Not at all.
Not in a trillion. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not if you know bad, the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear,
to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them.
Their own is not even house. Their own is not even Dubai. Their own is ordinary salary. Ordinary salary that maybe is 10,000, 30,000, something like ordinary salary. It is not even Dubai or buy a house in Kuwait or anything. No, ordinary salary. And they are all snapping picture. The picture they snap is so that they are going to show them to those who will pay the salary. And then after that, they become abandoned property. We are going to analyze about Dr. Malafia about there, later on, not in this particular broadcast again. So we thank you very much for this particular program today, where we have now presented to you Nigeria as a global threat. I believe that the first 2 hours into this program have addressed, made a very big deal into the Nigeria as a global threat, and why Nigeria must disintegrate in this year to make sure that we do not allow the calamity to happen. So we are going to open the phone line, and we're going to receive a couple of calls. And I hope to end this program exactly 3 hours. We have 19 or 18 minutes to go. So we have 18 minutes to take calls. The line is open, and you can call us and air your opinion, and we'll move. You're welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening from here. Good morning from here.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Okay. Yeah, you are welcome. I really appreciate you for all you have been doing.
Thank you.
There is something I want you to put mark concerning our youth in Nigeria. Those that they are claiming cultists, they are ayes, baggers, or they are killing themselves too much now. They are killing and police will see them killing themselves. They will never come there and they ask them what is happening or arrest them. They will just leave them to kill themselves because of it, Igbo versus Igbo. Yesterday or day before yesterday in Anambra, they killed themselves, more than 10 people, in the name of their ayes, they are Vikings, they are this, they are that. Our youth. This youth, they are supposed to be alive to fight this our battle. We are going to emerge very soon. Nobody is talking that one. They are just killing themselves unnecessarily without no help. Please, you need to talk about that so that we will put it in serious action. Any person that said he is a cultist in Igbo land again, a tree is accordingly. I am sick and going for one.
Thank you very much. We have actually made that announcement, and our leader also made that announcement in the past. If you have power to do cultists, come and put it in Biafra struggle. We have, from the time of the NSAS, we've said that we made that announcement, and I believe that announcement still stands. So if you think that you have power, or that come and use it on, to fight our enemies. Okay, don't stop killing each other. There is nothing like cult in Biafra, and we will not condone that. So come and use your power to fight for Biafra. Don't waste it and kill each other. It's not acceptable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's a very good one. So we'll continue. And of course, you must see all those people talking about how people are killing themselves. Wachineke, you're welcome to the program.
Hello.
You're welcome to the program. There we.
Yes, it is heartbreaking to hear all these things.
Yes.
The worst part is that our people, the Biafrans, especially the Igbo-speaking Biafrans, we don't see anything wrong in what is happening.
Mm.
I don't know how long this awareness should continue, honestly. Because our people, I don't know if we are hypnotized. They don't see what is happening. For instance, in the East, my people cannot celebrate this Christmas at home.
Mm.
We are talking about war, insecurity in the East. Ibubago are ravaging. The military are ravaging. They come with helicopter, they come with bomb. Ihiala province is sieged, is under siege. Yes. You don't know where the bullet will come from.
Mm.
For one to enter his or her village, you will sneak like a fugitive. Enough is enough. The war is ongoing.
Yes.
Like you said, it's just to make it public.
Yes.
The extermination is on daily basis. The extermination is on daily basis. And for those who are expecting Simon to come back, imagine the fate of man last year.
Mm.
Imagine the fate of the colonel.
Mm.
Maznam Dekano said, go and serve Nigeria and come back ashamed.
Yes.
Like you rightly mentioned today, once upon a time, Maznam Dekano was championing the cause of Nigeria.
Mm.
Before 1999, he was supposed to come back to Nigeria to campaign for good governance. He was together with some Yoruba sect until they declare Obasanjo the winner of PDP primaries. And those people stopped picking his calls. That was why when he knew that it was to your tent, O Israel. So for those that are saying Simon Ekpa was, yes, I was once blind, but now I can see. St. Paul in the Bible was once a persecutor of the people of the faith.
Mm.
He was the one that brought Christianity to the Gentiles, as so they say, according to the Bible.
Yes.
So if it's only an animal who will never have a change of thought. Now, see how the game turned. Those who were agitating for Biafra is now agitating for Obi. Whereas the so-called outcast is the one agitating for the Biafra. The stone that the builder rejects has become the chief cornerstone. I like the way you never mentioned the last interview that went out.
No.
I like the way you didn't mention it.
Don't even go
I
there.
appreciate you very well.
That thing doesn't exist.
I
Let us talk
appreciate
something
you.
else.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you very well. These are inconsequential set of people. If God called a man as a pastor, God never called a wife. If God called a prophet, God, forget these people you see in Nigeria, pastor and pastor Mrs. No. We have to thank you anyway.
Thank you very much.
May God strengthen you,
Thank you
and help and perfect all your dreams.
Thank you.
According to Biafra actualization. Thank you.
He said, thank you. All right, we move. This is 2023, and it is the year of Biafra, whether you like it or not. So we are not here to waste time. We are not here for anything. Just give your feedback, give your comment on what you just heard today. You're welcome to the program.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Simon.
Hello.
Yes,
good evening from here.
Good evening, Simon.
Good evening. Can you listen to your phone, please?
Yeah. I'm so happy to speak to you after a long while.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for you carrying the burden of Biafra only on your shoulder. I adore you. I salute your courage.
Thank you.
My brother, what I'm trying to say now is, I just saw something that they invaded the house of Azoka. I don't know if that is true.
Yes. I think her house was attacked. So
If that is true, I think they have set a prelude for us to do something. Something they have, initiated a way we fight this war, because we've been thinking of going after all these politicians.
Don't worry. I think you should focus on what I have. You should focus on what I have done here today. We are talking about the Nigeria being a global threat. Okay, can we focus on that? Nigeria is a global threat.
Yes, okay.
So let us focus on the thing I exposed here, and let us not talk about something I have not exposed. Okay.
Okay. Because my fear for you, these people, this Igbo community are doing.
Can you not fear for me, please? Can you not fear for me? Let me take another call. I don't know. I'm not telling. Did I tell you I'm afraid of anybody? Don't fear for me, please. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. You're welcome to the program. Hello.
Hello.
You're welcome to the program.
Yes. I want to talk about. Hello, I'm here.
Go ahead. Can you stop listening to your Can you stop listening to your device and listen to your phone, please? You're welcome.
All right. All right.
Can you stop listening to your device and listening to your phone?
All right. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this. Our enemies. They are so desperate. Not just only being desperate. They are stupid when you look at it in the actual sense. They are just gathering false disciples here and there. Look at what Lolo.
Can please. I made exposition here. Can somebody go straight to the exposition I made and make your comment, please? I don't want to cut anybody off here. I don't want you to come here and validate anybody that does not exist. From 2023, 1st January, there are people that doesn't exist and they will never exist as far as I'm concerned in this struggle. So don't come here and talk about something I did not mention. Thank you. You're welcome to the struggle. You're welcome to the program.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here.
Marvin Simon, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Marvin, esim na Biafra. I'm not Togo now, working now.
Ndewo.
So, Marvin, yeah, this is my first time of calling you. Understand?
Ndewo.
So, yeah.
You're welcome.
Modern Zuma, we must march into the Biafra this year.
Yes.
And the spirit of Biafra is with you.
Ndewo.
So, okay, sir.
Thank
you.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not target for this thing because I'm here on the contribution. So, I'm not target. I'm not target. I'm not some get me with the some of over him.
Join all your group. Join all the group in your country now.
And in Togo here.
Yes.
I'm group.
I'm with Togo now. Contact any of the media team and draw Hamaka Togo this thing.
Okay, I'm what I'm going to contact. I'm when the number and I'm going to contact him. I want to get
please, where are the people with Togo? With Togo number, please. Let me check if I can see them here.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Lisa, where is the autopilot Togo? Okay, please, I think you need to, I don't have it here. You need to be You need to be calling. Please, media team, do we have autopilot Togo? Do we have autopilot Togo? Do we have autopilot Togo? If Togo, if you are autopilot Togo, please, can you indicate autopilot Togo? Can you send message to me? And if not, please, get to midst of the media team, Sonny Akbarawa. Sonny Akbarawa and co. So you can call any of their program, let them bring it. Let this not take our time, okay? Because I don't have the Togo line here at this point. So you have to continue to check until we have that Togo this thing available. Wait, I think somebody is calling. Somebody is. If you are from Togo, just send a message that this is Togo.
Yes, I'm in Togo right now.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the person. I'm talking about somebody that is calling from Togo as well, because somebody is calling from Togo. All right, so just continue to watch and listen, because somebody may call from Togo, and I see another person calling from Togo. Let me call that person and see whether he is part of the Togo family. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, those of you from Togo, stop calling. Stop calling. I'm calling you back. Togo number. All right, so since you are calling, continue to call then. You're welcome to the program. All right, so just continue to watch and listen. Can you stop listening to the device, please? Listen to your phone. You're welcome. Good day.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. Can you listen to your phone?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here.
Yeah, good evening, Mazi.
Ndewo.
Ndewo, Mazi. Ndo. Ihe na-eme dị m mma o.
Ndewo.
Yeah, Mazi, na ihe na-ekwu.
I'm on here. Go ahead.
Esi m n'ụlọ akpọ gị. Mazi, o nwere kelukwu nsi nchọ ịgwa m ụmụ Biafra. Okwe ma oge m batara n'obodo oyibo ụmụ ihe dịka 25 years ago. Ịma ihe ụmụ ndị ihe a na-erichasị adụrụ. Abịa postuo mụla m dịka onye Fulani isi Senegamba bịa. Futere dị n'ikosi wee bata. Ọ na-agwa m na nọ na-eme regret ịbata obodo oyibo ebe a na ụmụ ndị n'okwesịrị ịga Nigeria na nsị why dị na-eji obodo oyibo a compare Nigeria. Ọ sị na ndị enyi ya nwoke ndị kachasị Nigeria na ha niile emekigo ya, well, all of them don't make it. So na ha niile nọcha n'isi ochie, ma ndị na-achị ma ndị nọ na amị ma ndị nọ na polisi ma ndị nọ na presidency n'isi ochie. So na-azụ ofu ajụjụ, ọ bụ na onye anụnwa na mụlọ anọ bụ 25 years ago gara Naija, ọkwa mmadụ ka ọ ya emeti. So ihe m na-ekwu nnọọ, ihe m na-ajụ nnọọ, because ọmụ ndị Fulani ahụ nọ na be anyị ebe ahụ, ọha hụrụ na ime ndị ọzọ nọ na outside invitation na-efe ha na-abata na Naija. So ọ na-akọwarị m na ọ ndị Fulani nwere Nigeria na Fulani owns Nigeria. It's telling me that they own Nigeria. Na ihe a bụrụ one shot n'ebe mụnwa nọ. Ị na-anọkwa ihe m na-ekwu? Alo?
I'm hearing you.
Ihe a bụkwa nsọt ebe mụnwa nọ, maka na mụnwa nwa afọ Igbo, onye si obodo ọzọ na-abata isi obodo ọzọ bata obodo oyibo, mụ na ya mepere obodo oyibo na-agwa m na ha nwe obodo nna bụ nna. Ihe ahụ nsọtụ ọbọmi. So oge ji wee kwuchi ise ihe a tọchịkwa m ụtọchịa m sị na ọ dịka onye ama ihe ọ na-ekwu. That time when I'm the time of the more I might have a Fulani fair. Even now, maybe so how was Fulani, how was Fulani? I'm not the mobile when I want the Fulani fair. I was so I was a come. So even I think in more than 2 decades, people now that are going on them. In Gurunhan about maybe 2003, the lockdown, the 2022 can be in 1 month, the first time on the month. So, you have one look at me, you wake me up and I say, okay, I'm 25 years ago, and this is the own Nigeria. So all that agenda from that to go this agenda video, what they go this agenda video, the Mafula you own Nigeria, they own Nigeria, they want to conquer us, they want to colonize Nigeria. Maybe today they start to be planning this today. This is when I tell you now, you know to hear it happen. I don't know about this thing before. This question naturally GCK only la no more now. If one has to wait, you don't mind the time.
You know, it is better you speak. It is better you speak broken or English so that other people, because we are not just talking to Igbo people. Okay, we are talking to the world because you know now everybody is paying attention and they want to know your thoughts. They want to hear what people are saying on this program. It's very important.
Okay,
and you are making a very valid point.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is that about 25 years ago, when I enter Europe, all this asylum something of Aburu something. So it happened to be that they posted me, they gave me room with a Fulani boy. When we with them, they stayed the same room. This Fulani person told me that he's regretting that he come to Europe. That he's supposed to go to Nigeria. He's supposed to go to Nigeria. I said, why? How could you compare Europe with Nigeria? He told me because Fulani, they own Nigeria. And he told me that even all his friends that traveled to Nigeria, supposed to travel to Nigeria, all his friends that traveled to Nigeria, all of them have made it. They are the ones that controls Nigeria. They are in the army. They are in the presidency. They are in the head of police. They are the head of customs. They control Nigeria. So at that in the old Nigeria, this thing was like, I was ashamed. It's a shame for me that another person that came from Futajalo, because he comes from Futajalo, this kind of place, and that is telling me that they own my fatherland. It was like an insult. I looked at it that time. I think this guy doesn't know what he's saying.
All right, thank you.
About it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you.
Before I begin to listen to Nnamdi Kanu, before I come wake up. So what you guys are doing, good job, man. Continue.
Thank you very much.
I'm okay with your job, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would want to Wilson Benny, can you call to this program? I want to tell you one joke. I will not take more call again. I want to take the call of Wilson Benny. Wilson Benny, I want to tell you a joke. Wilson Benny, I want to tell you a joke. Please, I don't want to hear any other person except Wilson Benny. Wilson Benny, I want you to call and I want to tell you a joke. If you are not Wilson Benny, I will have to stop the call. So let me Wilson Benny. If you are not Wilson Benny, I will stop the call. Are you Wilson Benny?
Yeah, the great warrior.
Are you Wilson Benny?
Yeah.
You are Wilson Benny?
The great warrior.
Hello?
The great warrior.
Watching can there.
Oh.
So are you with Are you Wilson Benny? Are you Wilson Benny?
No.
Okay. You will look at that. I want to Wilson Benny to call.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I'm calling from Qatar.
Okay. Okay. Wilson Benny make a comment. Osi, Chakaleke, Chakaleke. Mahana pa Chakaleke.
I'm a little Chakaleke.
So I want Wilson to call so that I will make joke with him. No. Thank you. Of course. How are you gonna see Aboki? Thank you. Thank you. All right. It's like Benny is calling. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Are you Wilson Benny?
No. I'm calling from Spain.
Okay. Why is nobody calling as Wilson Benny? There is something called Chakaleke.
No, I know what is shekeleke. Shekeleke is a bed, white bed. Just all the time, it's always white.
Yes. Yes.
What price they cost you are a shekeleke?
Yes, you know the guy remind me. The guy wrote Chekeleke. He remind me of something, and I want to crack joke with him, but unfortunately he is not calling. So since you know what is Chekeleke, let me crack the joke with you. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right. You know, in those days when we used to sing, when you see that bed, Chekeleke nye mumbo chaki weroji. Chekeleke nye mumbo chaki.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I can remember that time.
You can remember?
Early 70s.
Yes.
Yeah, 70s. They call it Chekeleke Bango Show.
Yeah.
So you are whiter than snow. Man, why this man mentioned Chekeleke? It shows that you are whiter than snow. Nothing happens to that Chekeleke. Even animal, all the animals love Chekeleke. Because it's always white and it's not dirty.
Yeah, yes, I know. He was no. He was saying something else. I don't want to address it here, but I understand what he was saying. You know, he was saying that somebody is like Chakaleke. So I and then I was like, wait till this guy. How did this guy think of remembering Chakaleke? You know. Because but do you know that you know when you are singing Chekeleke nye mumbo chaki weroji Chekeleke nye mumbo bango shit. But do you know that at the end of the day, but do you know that at the end of the day, your nails will have
one of the fingernail will get to what point of
yes.
More white. Hey, I'm giving you white.
Yes. See what magic is that?
It's a wonderful magic. Yes, the bed is a wonderful bed, as I was telling you, because early 70s, 80s to ending of 80s, we know about Chekeleke. That's what we sing in the school always.
This is you know
Chekeleke or animal cows moving, it will always follow cows.
This is something else flying, because in those days after you will be shouting and the thing will be flying. You will increase the shout.
Yes, thank you.
You will increase the shout. You will increase the shout. You will increase the shout, and the thing will be flying. And then before you know it, the one thing is
It's true, Maz. The person have a point. He have a meaning. That's why he said, whoever remember that bed, I mean, nowadays, nobody, no think of that again.
Hey, everything have been, destroyed. Everything.
Everything destroyed. Everything. Everything destroyed. Everything changed now.
That is a mystery.
A mystery, yeah, it's a mystery. When the going was good.
When the going was good. Hi! Who knows what we have missed with that?
I don't know. Nobody will say. Nobody can say.
Because definitely we missed something. Because there is something powerful that we have missed with that. Because if something like that can happen, it means that there is something that we have missed. Hi.
Many things are missing now. Many things are missing. Many things is missing. Missing out of action. Unless we go back to, Nnamdi Kanu said it, unless we go back to our root. And that's what we are going now. That's where we are going now. When we go back, then we start counting number 1, number 2, number 3. I tell you the truth. When we go back, we start elderly school. They call it old people school. Everybody will start finish school again. Then before we can follow our route again, because we jump. Huh?
Try. Now, wow. This is something else. This is something. A lot has been destroyed.
We miss a lot. Maz, I say, let me greet you. I always greet you. I say, let me greet you again. Thank God. Thank God. God bless you.
Thank you.
We are praying. You are praying on your head. This year, we will meet in Nigeria. We are going to meet in Biafra, not Nigeria.
In Biafra.
When we meet there, everybody will be happy. Yeah, everybody will be happy.
We
welcome you very well. That's why we are going to appreciate all what you have done to us, because we are not sleeping. We are not sleeping.
Yes, sir.
Even if you go work, come back. We are not sleeping. We have to wait for your time. Immediately you announce it. We have to wait till you finish before we go work. Even if I wake up, I finish this, I prepare. I finish the announcement, I prepare, go to work. I'm always happy. I will not sleep in the working place. I will never sleep.
Thank you. Thank you.
God will bless you. God will bless you. Let me give you that chance. God will bless you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think I've already exceeded. I've already exceeded my time. I've already exceeded my time. So please, we continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow we may have like only call and tomorrow we are going to have more time with you all, and yes, sir, you're welcome to the program. You are going to be the last person, Odenigbo.
All right, it's Simon Ekpa.
For
the benefit of those who don't understand Igbo, Chakeleke is called flamingo bird. Flamingo bird.
Oh, flamingo bird.
Pure flamingo is the English name.
Wow. Wow.
Then, for the people who understand Igbo.
So now, can you explain to us? Do you know the mystery behind that? When we sing that thing, the white stuff will now come into one of our fingernails.
Truthful, I cannot. I'm a young generation. I'm only 62 years old. I'm very young. I don't know much about the mystery behind that. But that is a fact. I did it in 1970s and early 80s. Then on your exposition today, in fact, as I always say, you are an enlightenment to the millions of Biafrans worldwide. In fact, as I have always said, Biafra's coming will be an enlightenment to the whole black world. Civilization that started in Africa will come back to black Africa.
Yes.
We have to establish what is called a university for life, where all aspects of human living will be apportioned.
Yes.
But where you have so many faculties, faculty of fear, faculty of... Nobody teaches us now how to make money. But the Biafrans fundamentally are Republican. They know how to create wealth. So these are examples of where Biafra will teach the whole world, starting from Africa, what life will be. We make a university where we have a university for faculty of fear, fear of the unknown, department of fear of the unknown, department of fear of individual, fear of tomorrow, fear of this, fear of that. Even fear of God, we want to have the fear of Chukwu Okike. We have to get those departments and those. No, the Fulani you are talking about, in my years in Africa, when I was living in Sao Tome, when I was living in Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Congo, Zaire, Central Africa, then up to Mali. So when I talk about Mali, I'm talking about Timbuktu, around the Futajero Mountain, where River Niger started from Futajero Mountain. I used to be with Fulanis. We went to Burkina Faso, Mali, Burkina Faso, in Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and Guinea Equatoria. Then down to Ghana, Togo, Mali, Senegal, and all of them. Fulani people are people who are despicable. Despicable. And when this man Danfodio took that Hajj war to Africa, he landed in Sokoto where he set up his caliphate. And from there, want to dip the Quran into Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Buhari came to materialize it in this 8 years. But anyway, nothing happens for nothing. I'm always grateful to my God because he sees tomorrow. Buhari will be a legend as person who made Biafra to come early.
Yes.
So
engineer, some people are saying that Shekeleke is not flamingo bird, but eaglet. Is that true?
Eaglet. Eaglet is the child of eagle.
Okay.
No, joke apart.
Yes.
Eaglet is the child of an eagle. It's reasonable.
Yes.
You check it in Google and dictionary of the flamingo. In 1976, when I was in my primary school, elementary school, we have a hotel called Flamingo. Anybody that is on this program knows about Enugu. You know about Lagos Street. You know about Woody Road Primary School, former Semba. I was in Mike Grammar School.
Okay, so some people say egret. I don't know which one is egret and which one is eaglet again. Did they have anything like egret?
And the younger echo is an eaglet.
Okay, now, engineer, come to so what is this? Do you, of course, you know that this is not in Igbo language. When we say shekeleke bango she, what is that? What does that mean? Because that is different between, we normally say shekeleke bango she, and then we say shekeleke nyemumbo chaki weroji. So this bango she is not Igbo language. So what are we trying to speak? What were we trying to speak?
I will not say what I don't know. Please, I don't know.
Okay.
I will have to ask elders or people who are older.
Yeah, because at least she we can say is Yoruba. Okay.
Yoruba.
So, but what is this bango she? Is it like bango? Okay. Is it like mix of Oduduwa, mix of Yoruba and Hausa, or either? I really need to know because this is something that we need to know.
You've given us a task. You've given us a task. We go for it. I will go for the solution.
Okay.
Yes. And actually, by the end of the day, the head of check you see white spot on your
finger.
On
your finger. Yes.
Yes, your fingernails. Yes. It's a mystery. It's even now that I'm telling you, you are a beacon of knowledge, a warehouse of knowledge. A warehouse. Look at the way you're bringing out. Brain what is it called? You are making our brain to go back and think in deep. So it's not only me. There are millions where I've got phone calls from all my colleagues everywhere. When they were talking about the situation you're putting our brain in. I will go for it to do research about it.
Very important. We need to know. Very important. We need to know what language is that. What language is Bango?
But they share with Yoruba, shake it. But you know that republic, that country called Nigeria, because of our mixing with different parts of the Nigeria, we have many things in common. It's like Igbos will say Oyibo. Oyibo is not an Igbo language. It's a Yoruba language. Igbo na po Beke or Onyocha. Oyibo is a Yoruba language. And so many things in Yoruba also has things to do with Igbo. Ndị Yoruba na-asị Ogo Igbo na-asị Ogo Chukwu. Grace of God. In Yoruba, it's still the same grace of God, Ogo. These are Bangama. Look at Jangorova. It's what they call it in Yoruba land. I was in the theory of Yoruba land. It's the same thing. You know Jangorova, that swing. That's what they call it in Igbo Jango. In the same thing, now so many things. We have mixed up together people. Our fathers left Igbo land to other parts in 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and bring back a lot of things. The same thing. So we've mixed up. But it is this, your exposition that makes us to think. Cheuche, back and front and middle.
But you know, the thing, what I am thinking about now is Not even the names and all that, and of course, part of it. But what I'm thinking is, what have we missed? What have we missed with this mystery? Because definitely we have missed something.
Yes.
We have missed something that we don't know. So what is it?
Yes.
What could we have gotten from the mystery of this bed? And the bed is still there today, but that thing doesn't happen again.
You're right.
In fact, the children today doesn't even do that. They don't even know anything like that.
They don't know about that again.
So we have actually missed something that we don't know. But what could it be?
Our God maybe is not happy with us being in that enclave called Nigeria. So many things have changed over the years.
So many things have changed. We have definitely missed something very powerful that we don't know.
Yes. Even in my rain community, in my village, and we high now for we things name exist and was in Kedeketa. We hate this name exist in one guy village. One of them is the high now for more. You call it evil forest. Those things doesn't exist again.
Yes, evil forest. Yeah.
Water that comes out from a stone, limestone, down during the Hamatan from November to February. No, nothing. And then in that Okwame, that is the Okwame also, the water is the purest water that exists. 1970s, now it doesn't exist. But it's what you call a tap. The water that have are pure, chlorine free and all this, nothing that does it. God Almighty, the Chukwuka, is not happy with us from that enclave called Nigeria. Our going out, I believe, will restore a lot of things. We go back to our roots.
Chai. Somebody say in Igbo land, you don't see vultures.
Vulture is with them.
Vulture asosi si asosi. Makara tazi gogo.
We don't see them again. These are just things we don't see before.
Now say we get feed the child. When you are born to can na see ya. Hi. Alobele. Anata. I don't know if they get that. Udere we adị ya wee megharịa si na adị Igbo ebe nyugokwa abụọzikwa ya ka ọ dị ebe ọzọkwa ka ya na-eme na ka na-emezi kịta ndị a na-atazi m. Hai Chineke ndị Hausa alaga anyị n'iyi. Hai alụmelu nke ndị Fulani a na-emesi ya ndị egbugo mmadụ wewere udere n'azụ ndị Igbo udere wee n'ala n'Igbo chai alụmelu because all those things nwere spiritual implication, ịmana in those days na Igbo, if you are doing burial of somebody that is very strong, vulture will come. If vulture did not come, a man that has problem. Ịmana una amarokwa na mụ awo omenala mmadụ ka mbụ. Ịghọtago? Ndị nwana sị na ha bụ ndị Igbo. Ndị nwana sị na ha bụ ndị Igbo amara ha bụ Igbo culture. Ịghọtago? So in those days, when ọnwụ ya na-eme bere ya bụ somebody katara aka. If you don't see vulture there, imana nsogbu dị. So vulture, ihe dịka 2 vulture must come. And I can give vulture ahụ something. Yes. Yes. So the vulture will just land the bar. The vulture will just land the bar. As in a vulture abiago. So, and then they will stay somewhere at top of her something. They will eat it, and then they fly off. Imana akwago diozu. But today, nothing like that. Aromelo. Hi. How many people watching this program know about this particular thing I'm saying now, about this vote? I don't know. How many people that know about it? All right. Thank you very much, engineer.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
There we
Bye-bye.
All right. I think you people have touched me to somebody said the biggest chat. In fact, we are going to extend this program for the next few minutes. I have received something very important. I have received something very important, so I'm going to I'm going to bring it to the screen. A moment. Hello, you're welcome to the program.
Hey, my brother.
Ndewo.
Simon.
Ndewo.
Maazị Maka Ifru Chukwu goziere gị. Ama na Chukwu ya emecha wepụta mmadụ dịka gị n'ala Biafra. Anọ m India laa na-esensitalize ndị mme na ha nọgwa n'ebe a na-agwa ha nke na-eme maka o mere ka ọ bụrụ ndị mmadụ ha na-ekwu okwu DOS mana mụ wee emechiene nke DOS ebe a emechiene m ya ebe a onye ọbụla amara na nke bụ eziokwu. Chukwu goziere gị nke ilele m anya na etigala m ihe banyere ihe strọgụl ya wee etigala m ya ma isi mmadụ nke ilele m anya mgbe enwutere maazị Nnamdị Kalụ ka papa m ma fada nọ na ya nwụ enwutere maazị Nnamdị Kalụ ozugbo na-enwutere nwa maazị Nnamdị Kalụ agwa ya papa m o ruo papa m ebegide akwa maazị Nnamdị Kalụ nwụọ o ruo 3 days papa m anwụ maka echeta aga maka papa m kpọrọ ndị Fulani asị wee papa m buru ụzọ akọrọ anyị ihe ha mere na ihe butere ọgụ na ihe emere n'agha onye ọbụla nwe ihe butere ọgụ onye ọbụla ma ka the history of Biafra ihe butere ọgụ Biafra onye agha aghara eme nkọ iri mana obi dị m aṅụrị na-enwere ụdịrị mmadụ dịka gị. Nnamdị Kalụ sịla niile take the struggle to another dimension. Ihe eziokwu ka dịmanụ kwuru datị o mere ihe ọhụrụ n'ime gị. Ihe a na-ekwula mgbe a chụtụrụ Uchemefọ mgbe Uchemefọ ọ chụpụrụ Uchemefọ ngụwa ka ọ chọrọ ime
you know that we have no nwere exposition anyị mere nke anyị na-ediscuss kịta bụ ihe gbasara Chekeleke na anyị ekwuokwa n'okwu udene na ọ na-abụ mmadụ nwụọ nnekwu mmadụ nwụọ maọbụ mmadụ nwụọ udene na-abịa mgbe a na-akwado ozu ịghọtago ewee nye udene ahụ ewee nye udene ndị udene wee fepụ anyị today udene adọrọzi anaghị emezi ụdị ihe ahụ so kedu ihe na-emezi
ihe mere ihe niile maazị ihe mere ihe niile mbụla alaba anyị emebisiele alaba anyị mebiri emebi na alaba anyị emebisiele mgbe mbụla eme imekwa be anyị nga nsị bụ nga ma achọrọ m ịkpọ nga nsị ahụ mana be anyị elegbu nnama na be anyị achọrọ m ịkpọ nga esi ahụ maka mkpọ nga nsị ahụ na onye ọbụla ha na nga nsị na mkpọ ha n'ebe ahụ aha na onye ọbụla ma onye mbụ onye ọbụla ma famili anyị bụ ezigbote strong IPOB anyị bụ strong IPOB Biafra ndị malara akpa ndị Biafra ịghọtago achọrọ m ịkpọ nga mgbe mbụla eme akwụba ozu udelele ebu ụzọ abịa ebe ahụ egbu ha n'anụ udelele ebu ụzọ abịa ebe ahụ ihe a mbụ aja a na-eme achụ aja ma afọ udele ma na-acha aja esoro enwe isi mbụla eme akwụba ozu udelele abịa ebe ahụ iwu ibulu udelele abịa die iwu ibulu udelele abịa bere na nkwụ nọ ebe ahụ na-eche ha n'anụ ofetuo bịa rie anụ ya bụ na omenala emere ezuole mana ụdụ o mezi ụgbọrọ ala anyị mebisiri na emebisi mana Biafra ya kpọchi akpasị ihe niile ahụ azụ anyị amachi nke anyị na-efe anyị anwụchi anyị okpukperechi anyị ka anyị si ekpe okpukperechi anyị ịghọtago anyị enwe one esi ekpe okpukperechi anyị na-eme omenala anyị adịrị anyị siri ike ga-aba anyị maka ihe anyị bụ ndị gboo ndị gboo bụ ndị mbe mbụ ndị gboo bụ ndị mbe mbụ ịghọtago anyị nwa bụ ndị mbe mbụ anyị bụ mmadụ izizi Chukwu kere so anyị nwa abịaziela ebe onwe anyị ndị ọcha na-emezi udo ha abịala aghọta m ka ndị be anyị si eme ịbịa iwe ọcha anyị nwa sụsọ anyị nwa ịma obodo nọ na ya o mere mgbe nwe problem baa ime ụlọ nga anyị aragwa ndị obodo agwa ha na-aragwa ọgwụ egbe agba mmadụ egbe lere mmadụ ha asịla asị na-eme ụdịrị ha ama anya dawa anyị nwa na-eme many things anyị na-eme many things anyị na-eme many things ọ dị possible anyị na-eme in the whole world ma ihe mere bụla anyị ji ụjọ ma chukwu na-abịala na chukwu nna ya na-ekele chukwu la enwe n'ụdịrị mmadụ dị ka gị nwesị ụdịrị mmadụ dịkwa ndị sịkpa ka anyị nọsịkpa ara ndụ chukwu ya agọzi gị chukwu ya agọziri gị chukwu ya egozi ama chiga gị na ekpere mgbe ọbụla a na-ekpere gị ekpere steedi ka chukwu gbaa anyị ume ịlaghọta gbaa anyị ezigbote ume si ebe na Nnamdị Kalụ nọ n'ime jeelụ ebe ahụ ọ sịrị ya ya ebute ụzọ na the struggle ya elite the fight ọ nọ n'ime ụlọ nga elite the fight so freedom fighter na anọ n'ime ụlọ o jiri nọ n'ime ụlọ nga ọ na-ega ezai o jiri na ezai ọ na-ega lidi wela fight freedom ịghọtago nke ya bụla ọ nọ n'ime ụlọ nga chukwu gozie chukwu gbaa gị ume.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ndewo. All right. So if you look at the screen, you are going to see the Chekeleke. Chekeleke is in the screen. And here they say, the biggest childhood scam. Indomie generation will not understand this. The biggest childhood scam. Is this really a scam? Is this really a scam? Because is this really a scam? The biggest childhood scam. Indomie generation will not understand this one. So I want to know, look at the white thing. Is this really a scam? It's not a scam. Many of us have done this, We have done it and it worked. All right. Thank you very much. May God bless you. We continue tomorrow. Please do not call me again because a lot of calls are coming and I cannot take all the calls. Please, after this broadcast, I am appealing to everybody not to call me because the way I receive call is not really, I don't want to be often switching on my phone or deleting the app because sometimes I just delete the app. So I don't want to delete the app because of too much calls. Please, remember also there is time differences that when I'm sleeping, when we are sleeping here, you don't need to be calling my number when I'm sleeping so that even though it is silent and all that. I thank you very much. May God bless Mazinam Dikano. May God bless our ESN. May God bless Ondigbo. God bless Professor Banji and all Oduduwa agitators. May God bless our Umada and their husband. May God bless our media team. May God bless all of you, our alliances, special squad forces and all that. May God bless all of you. And I want to thank you all, those who support us, those who, are playing different role in this particular liberation and revolutionary phase. I thank you all, and we continue tomorrow. We may be addressing a lot of issues, including the Pastor Igila. As the case may be, we need to address him. And we may also decide to play the audio tomorrow, audio of the meeting in Igbo, meeting of Igbo Union in Finland. We may decide to play the audio tomorrow. So, Gaddafi, I don't know, you're calling. I just said nobody should call, but you are calling. I don't know, and you are watching this program. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
You don't shut down? Okay, no wahala. I wanted to tell you one. The vulture, it is cobra that protect the egg of vulture. Then, evil forest still exists. Nigeria as a whole is evil forest. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right. Please, everybody should stop calling. So I thank you all. And from here, from me, is good evening.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important. Newspapers, you were listening to some idiots hired by zoo government to rubbish Biafra. You are listening to them, gossiping about me. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu is a fraudster, he's a thief. And what did Nnamdi Kanu steal? Nothing. Did he defraud you? Nothing. Then why are you calling him a thief? They cannot answer. That was why Simon Ekpa took time to demolish the little toad. Bravo. Demolished him by your Tony Maya. Demolished your Coco and dumped him in the gutter and the sewage. Objectively, you're asking me for a map of Biafra. When the map was there, Ojukwu fought with. You're asking me for my road map, so I will give you. You can give to Janjaweed. The idiots, they never planned to go to America. It was when I decided to go to the US. 30th of May last year, they also came up to say, oh, we are going to America as well. Anywhere I go to, if I hold a town hall meeting, they'll go and be gossiping, yapping at the back. Oh, now they cannot spoil the struggle. He's a thief. You ask them, what have you contributed to IPOB? No. Then what did he steal from you? I don't know if their plan of new Nigeria movement with Yoruba. Let's destroy Nnamdi Kanu. And as we have destroyed them, the glutinous was bigger. You're fighting for Biafra and you're building a mansion without sewage system. You don't know those nonsense we knock down in Biafra. We are going to knock down every building and we will rebuild everything. They convince all of them, even the pipeline security guard, Asian Creek, they are part of sign agreement. New Nigeria, let's move for New Nigeria. Me, you talk to me about New Nigeria. You're a madman. A child of Biafra, you're to discuss New Nigeria. Thunder will destroy you and your lineage. These are the idiots. When they're talking, hey, the Fulanis are coming, they are coming here. The Gambari, they are coming. So when I was telling you before, you didn't know. So you did not know before. You were deaf and dumb. When I was telling you before that they are coming, you didn't know. They married that they were coming. Useless set of people. Psychophants. IPOB is consistency personified. We don't change. It doesn't matter what you do. You can write your garbage. You can yap and gossip from now till 2099. That is your business. We don't move an iota. Where we are is where we are. Our agenda is our agenda. We are not shaking. Not to the right, not to the left. Unshakable. Gossip from now till the kingdom come. Unshakable, indestructible. This movement is indestructible. Not by man. They have not given birth to you to convince me to join New Nigeria movement. A bunch of criminals and bastards everywhere. I am a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. I don't engage in all this nonsense. Biafra is my mission. My parents died as soon as Elohim said it is there. Look at it, I've given it to you people. And he called them. Then I move forward and go and get Biafra. Nonsense. New Nigeria. Thunder fire all of you and your new Nigeria. Check it, Uno. Simon, demolish your coco. And Simon is doing a good job, by the way. And I want him to stay on it. Not when I praise you, it goes into your brain. You start misbehaving after 2 weeks. We give you IPOB treatment. I want you to remain on the path of truth and diligence. Truth and diligence. Because you're doing a good job. Continue doing it. We need many of you to come up and be speaking. My goodness, if it's only me, they'll say, oh, maybe he's mad. Well, when we have a lot of mad people, then you'll understand. You'll be forced to reason and think. Idiots everywhere.